disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet.
Rowdy, we get rowdy, rowdy. Rowdy, we get rowdy, rowdy.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Welcome, everybody, to Dueling Aces for May 6th. Star Wars Day Part 2. May the 6th be with you on the dark side of things. Sam, how the hell are you, my friend?
Doing all right. Currently watching the Phillies play in a spring training ballpark, and quite frankly, don't hate it.
Okay. Who are they playing?
They are currently playing the Rays this week, so they are at Steinbrenner Field where the Yankees hold their spring training at. So, I'm not gonna lie, not terrible. They're making the best of what they are given. I mean, it's not their fault that the entire roof off of the Tropicana got ripped off.
Right. I mean, active nature, so, got to make do with what you can.
Hold on, I want to make sure I'm not crazy. Is it actually already May 6th?
Yep.
Wasn't the draft just yesterday?
No.
But also, since we're on the topic
I'm kind of all drafted out. I mean, the Browns even announced the numbers today, and shocking news: Sanders is not wearing number 2. He is wearing 12. Free agent who signed earlier in the offseason here picked number 2. So
yeah, I think it was Andre Carter, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the Oregon kid picked 5. So yeah, right now Mr. Sanders is going to wear 12. Of course, all the article people are like, "Oh, hey, that's just it's Tom Brady's number, that on Idol and blah blah blah." Dude, it had no link to that. It was, hey, you still wanted a number 2 in your brand, so guess what? You had to deal with 12.
Look, and first of all, I'm going to stand on this field. There's only one quarterback drafted after the 5th round that is going to be called the baby Brady, and that will not be Shedeur Sanders. That is Tanner McKay. Do not take my baby Brady away from Tanner McKay. And mostly I do that just to piss off Tyler, but I'm going to do it till Tanner McKay's no longer an Eagle. Because then it's going to go up to Kyle McCord.
Okay, fair enough. You said you got something on your mind you wanted to bring up real quick. Go for it. Launch it.
Yep, we got some for any people that are tragically Saints fans. I apologize in advance for that. We have a small little
like you do with the 49ers updates.
Oh no, unlike the 49ers, the Saints are about they wait till the off season to unveil their injured players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Look, we're already taught. I just find it funny how yesterday a kicker was kicked off his team, but we're going to say that for another day.
Oh, no. Oh, we're going to get into that.
Well, we'll rub that one out later. But anyway, all right, let's talk about Derek Carr, shall we? Anyway, all right. Oh, God. See, this is
payback for yesterday, huh?
Oh, no, this isn't my show. I don't have to worry about being censored.
Touche.
All right. Anyway, so Derek Carr, as people all know, is potentially in fear of missing the entire 2025 season due to a shoulder injury. So here's the latest on his on the Derek Carr situation. Carr has been in New Orleans twice in recent weeks to meet with the team doctor at the Saints facility. He believes he injured his throwing shoulder in the same game he injured his left wrist, which would have been Saints versus the Giants in Week 14. Why are we just figuring this stuff out now? He didn't start meaningfully throwing until this spring, as he ramped up for the offseason and worked that when he noticed there was an issue with his shoulder. Prior to that, I'm told he only threw a bit in a walkthrough with a fake football to injured players and Alvin Kamara. So basically, all he did before the spring was throw some type of a fake football to injured players. So he wasn't really ramping up his throwing program. He didn't
I'm sorry, a fake football? What would you?
I don't know what the hell they're calling a. I don't know what a fake football is.
What would a fake football? I mean,
I'm assuming they're meaning like a Nerf ball or
a Nerf ball, a Nerf football.
Yeah, something of that nature. I'm sure we're going at here. He didn't get a chance to come back and really push it because the Saints got eliminated and were out of the contention, and they sat players. They've been doing that since Drew Brees retired. Anyway,
right. This is true.
So the next question was, why not get surgery? It sounds like he would rather not, as he has already had surgery before on that arm, but is still not navigating that decision. The Saints are trying to decide what's best for the team, and Derek is still actively trying to make the best decision for his shoulder. A decision either way will be made sooner rather than later, per the same source. Okay. So essentially, we're still where we were a month ago.
And no Taysom Hill either.
Yeah, because he tore his ACL last year. Oh, it did. Even if he was, he's not a quarterback.
Hey. Watch your mouth.
George, Taysom Hill is one of the most unique weapons in football. He is anything but a quarterback. Anything. You can put him in any position. You can line him up at center for all I care. You can line him up at right tackle.
He's everything, including a quarterback. I disagree.
Well, then we'll duel that one. We'll duel to that one.
Yeah. He is. Remember, he was a quarterback. He came in and they said, well, you had Drew Brees. I mean, hey, what are you going to do? He adapted. He said, I'll play anywhere. I'm an athlete. He's a football freak athlete.
So basically what you're saying is that Taysom Hill walked so Travis Hunter could run.
I'll go with that.
The only difference is Taysom only plays one side of the ball. But either way, we get the big picture here.
Yeah, well, because he can go into the running back, hit tight end, receiver.
He won't have to change jersey numbers in the middle of plays.
Right. This is very true.
That is going to be so interesting next season to watch Travis Hunter get a pick and then immediately have to swap out his jersey.
I don't know. I mean, Troy Brown didn't have to.
They keep claiming that he's going to do that. I don't know why they would even enter.
Troy Brown did not have to change numbers, and he played both sides of the ball.
I hope he doesn't have to, but there are people still saying that may happen. I hope it doesn't, because that's just going to be
stupid. That's just total stupid. Yeah,
a compliment.
I was gonna say I don't think that's gonna fly. I don't know if you saw it yet, but Matt Deanne didn't have to change numbers when he played both sides. Very true.
I don't know. There's conflicting reports coming out just about everything with Travis Hunter.
Yeah, well, because the reporters are stupid, and that's what they have to do. They have to come up with something to write about. Everybody is racing and fighting to write about something.
Trust me, we know that.
before we get into one of our big discussions, wanted to flip up the hockey bracket real quick. We had a little bit of an upset. The Oilers turned around and went shaping and sent the Kings out. So the Oilers now get to play the Knights. I sniff an Oilers Capitals possible championship. Looks like the matchup is getting a little tighter. Just a wee little bit.
Caps are going to have a tough challenge with that Canes team. The Canes they've been a good team all year.
And the Panthers dominating the Lightning. I know Adam's not thrilled about that one.
Well, I'm not thrilled that I haven't seen. I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled I haven't seen Adam in almost a year. But we don't get all what we want. Even though I swear Adam's avoiding me, but trust me, that would not be a surprise in its own right.
And the Avs took it to 7 games, but also couldn't finish off the Stars.
No, they pulled off a good old Colorado Avalanche, and they were avalanched on a 4-0 run in the third period.
It was sick. It was enough to just make me puke. I was like, are you guys kidding me?
Nothing beats that Jets and Blues game.
Oh yes.
And I will tell you now, that is the only piece of hockey playoffs I've seen. Because between watching the Phils, covering all the NFL stuff, I haven't had much time for hockey playoffs. But when I saw that happen, instantly one of the greatest hockey playoff moments we've had in recent history, with 1.6 on the clock.
And like I said, I was in Cleveland when the Monsters did the same exact thing with literally the same amount of time. Clint.
Hey, Clint, my team hasn't made it in 5 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no Philly team here. What's up, Clint? You got the link, brother. Jump in. You got the link, jump in. Oh man.
No, my team got shafted in the draft lottery.
Matt says him either.
Matt's a very unique sports fan. Matt is half Detroit, half Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's kind of ironic that it's slowly creeping to be that it could be that. And did you hear about Fleury, by the way? Just after getting bumped, the teams getting Minnesota gets bumped out. He's going to play for Team Canada in the championship in another month or two here.
Just solely convinced he's never retired.
He's going to play with Sidney Crosby and the rest of Team Canada. Excuse me. Oh.
Hold on. Can you go back to that most previous comment that we just had? Because now I'm upset.
Clint says he's watching.
Next one. I am mad that Matt decides to tune in this week after last week. I spent the first 20 minutes of last week's show prepping up the Tigers, and he wasn't over to be found. Now I'm mad.
I was going to say, and he missed out last week because we were talking about him at the beginning of the show, too.
I gave them their flowers for 25 minutes.
Slacker.
Nah, Clint, don't talk to me about 2020. The Flyers were on an absolute tear in 2020. When Alain Vigneault was the coach, they had Sean Couturier, Carter Hart. That team was rolling. They had wins over the Bruins at the time, who were the best teams in the freaking East. And then COVID hit.
Matt says he was at work. Oh, Matt. Everybody listens to us at work. Also filling out health survey for Cleveland. All right.
He's prepared for what the Browns are going to do to his health next season.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Well, before that happens, we got to also get through basketball. And right off the rip, there's the update on the Cavs Pacers. The Cavs kind of fell asleep in game one, basically. And I was like, whoops. It's like, well, okay. I think the Cavs are like, all right, let's get our crap back together and let's go. I told Bryce, I said, so what happened with LeBron, dude? I mean, dang, they almost got swept. The Lakers got railroaded 4-1. I mean, wasn't even close, Sam. Not even close.
That is because the Lakers, as great as Luka is to watch, they literally had no answer for Minnesota's size. And this is what you get. This is what the Lakers get when they had that trade in place for Mark Williams at the deadline from the Hornets. He was their center. He averaged on the year 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks. And the Lakers doctors nulled the trade due to something in his medical records. And then that is what you get when you have to play a 38-year-old LeBron James
40-year-old
at center.
40.
Good. I'm trying to be nice. 40. Proves how much basketball I've watched in the past 3 years.
Yeah, and there it is. 2-12 in his last playoff series.
He is a lot. He hasn't. Well, first of all, the problem is he hasn't been back to a. I know that there's always going to be the asterisk in 2020. I get that, but he hasn't been back to a legit final since 2016.
Oh, for sure.
So, and let's be real here. LeBron James, yes, they won the bubble title in 2020. He did not go to LA. Look, when LeBron James went to Miami, he went to Miami to win a championship. He needed to learn. Look, and like I said, I don't care. People get mad about having. I know a lot of people were mad about the decision and being on live television. Welcome to modern day America. If there's an opportunity for a multi-million-dollar sports media company like ESPN to make money, they're going to do it, damn it. So that is why they put his ass on live television. He was a 26-year-old best player in basketball. They're going to make money off of that. Cry yourself to sleep over it. He needed to go to Miami because here's the thing. Matt, they won the damn title because all the best teams that were hot before the season got shut down, got slowed down by the bubble.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the Lakers were the best team in the NBA in 2020. Don't say that to me.
No,
but like I said,
the best part about it is last year he was supposed to retire, but we all know what he wanted to try to do with his kid. He wanted to try to play with his kid. They went with it. It was the feel-good story. Now it's over.
Exactly. But
and I think it's legitimately over. I think LeBron is done. It's legitimately over.
Yeah. And like I said, I know people like to fault him about the decision and all that. He left a Cavs team that literally had no idea how to get a second decently capable, talented player next to him. Their best that they gave him was that final year. He had Mo Williams, who couldn't defend anybody because he was like 5'11". And then he had 39,000-year-old Shaquille O'Neal, who was good for about 50 games at that point in his career, if that.
And a one-legged Rasheed Wallace.
And Anton Jameson, who was fine, but he was 35 years old. LeBron James needed to go. And look, some of these guys don't know. There's this thing called learning how to win. He had to go and learn how to win a championship. And he did. He went to an organization that had won a championship before. He went to with a guy, Dwayne Wade, who's been the guy on a championship team. But the Heat didn't get to that point till Dwayne Wade sat his ass down and said, you have to be the guy on this team, not me. I can't do it. You have to do it. So when he went to Miami, I understood why. When he returned to Cleveland, I love that too. I understood. He won his championships in Miami. He wanted to come back to Cleveland and finish what he started. He wanted to win that city a championship. Do
because
not
he
sit
knew
here
how
and
to
tell
do
me.
it.
Yes. Do not sit here and tell me he went to Los Angeles because he wanted to return the Lakers to glory. He wanted to go out to LA so he could semi-retire.
Right.
Yes,
And do the move. He did the movie thing. He got his faint. He did the movie thing, which is what else he wanted to do. And
Yes.
it's the LA lifestyle. That's exactly what he wanted to do. And he's
Yes,
achieved it. He's achieved it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
No, but now it's just to the point where, like, every year when the playoffs start, it didn't matter what seed they were. If you saw the Bulls in the 90s in the playoffs, you thought, oh, shit, look who we got to deal with. I'm sorry, Minnesota wasn't afraid of them. And I don't care if your roster is incomplete or indifferent. If you're the best player in the league, you should be playing like it. And he wasn't.
Well, and the thing about Jordan is, and let me rephrase that. The thing about Crybaby Jordan is that he did just that. He cried about everything. He cried about how bad some guys were playing, and he completely turned around and lambasted them for it and said, "You suck. Your work ethic sucks. You suck. Wake up or get the hell out of here. You're gone."
Kobe did the same thing.
He turned around and he made everybody better around him.
Oh God, for Christ's sake, Kobe Bryant freaking said that about the best player on the team during their three-peat, and clearly we saw who was right, because guess what? One guy won one more title. The other guy won two more, and he was the focal point of it.
And LeBron doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't.
LeBron does not do that. LeBron does not turn around and make the people around him better. What you do is you get great people to put around LeBron. And it's the opposite effect.
Clint, let me say this right now. I have never. Well, first of all, LeBron James is one of my favorite players.
Oh, geez.
When LeBron was in his prime, there was nobody you want to watch more than him. I love LeBron James. I loved LeBron James before he went to LA. I don't like anything about LeBron James in Los Angeles. Matt, that's assuming if AD's healthy. So there's the first problem with that statement. AD may have lost an eyelash and it was out 6 months. So I don't know about that. But here's the thing. LeBron James, once again, in this postseason, proved to the world he has never, in his career, outside of a few moments, 2016 Cavs against the Warriors, and those 2 years in Miami, he does not consistently have a killer instinct in his body in a playoff series. All right, let's go look at a playoff series that just ended the other night, right? Warriors, Rockets. The Rockets are clearly the more talented team, right?
By far, this one blew my mind, Sam.
But here's the problem. Oh, well, they got Game 7 on their home court. They're going against two guys who have been the Warriors have more playoff experience in their left hand than that entire Rockets team does in their whole body. Yep. That is why the Warriors just beat the number 2 seeded Rockets, who are younger than them, faster than them, more athletic than them. It's because Jimmy Butler had somehow put his legs back together and who led a Miami Heat team to the finals twice by himself. Don't give me Bam Adebayo. He led those Heat teams to the finals by himself. Oh, by the way, you have this guy named Steph Curry, and guess what? I sat there, and when I saw that shit was going to Game 7, I said, dude, the Warriors are going to win this game. They've been there, done that. They've all been there. Steve Kerr's been there. Steph Curry's been there. Draymond Green's been there. Jimmy Butler's been there.
Sam,
who the hell did the guy?
I gotta cut you off. I gotta ask you this question.
Hit me.
Did the Warriors sandbag to get that spot?
Wouldn't be surprised.
literally, it's like, what's the easiest way to get to a final?
Yeah, and now tonight they start against Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota's better than them.
Is
The
that
Warriors legitimately
literally,
have a
is
chance
that
to
a
get back to the final.
sandbagging? I mean, could you imagine if that got pulled off in the NFL? Could you literally? I mean, technically, I think you've seen it when the Ravens turned around and did it. They went from wild card to Super Bowl champs on the thank God to the kicker and the defense. But anyways, I digress. But I mean, literally, you know that is a finals team easily. They are still a finals team,
This
and they
is
were
why
7.
This is why I always say, no matter what you tell me, I don't care how much more talented a team is. Okay? I don't care how more talented the Rockets were. I don't care how talented Oklahoma City is.
Yeah,
Oklahoma City's going through that same thing. Yeah, they're the 1 seed. They got all this amazing young talent. They're loaded on every spot of the basketball court. The Denver Nuggets have done something they have not, and that is win an NBA championship. The Nuggets and Thunder series will probably go 7. And just like game 1, if they are close games down to the wire, I'm going to pick the Nuggets because the Nuggets have won a championship. They have that experience. The Warriors, Steph Curry's got what, 4 of those? Right? I think Steph's got 4 rings. Jimmy Butler has been to 2 NBA finals. Yes, he has lost both of them, no fault to his own, because he literally was the only player on those freaking Heat teams. Draymond Green has been there. Steve Kerr has been there. And that championship pedigree rubs off on guys, because guess what? Jimmy Butler's not the reason they won Game 7. He had a good part in it. Him and Steph Curry had 40 points combined. Jimmy had 18, Steph had 22. But somehow, former Sixer legend Buddy Hield all of a sudden dropped 33 points. But when he was in Philly, he could barely score 12 in the postseason. Now I'm pissed off. It's the teams, when it comes to the NBA playoffs, those teams that have championship experience, like the Warriors, like the Nuggets, like the Celtics. The Celtics have been to 2 finals in the past couple of years too, and they won the last one. Those teams know how to go there. They have got Tatum has now won a championship. Brown has won a championship. Drew Holiday has 2 championships. And I still think that was the downfall of the Milwaukee Bucks when they traded away Drew Holiday for involving Damian Lillard. Still one of the worst decisions ever.
Now, ironically, I got to bring this one up because the Pacers, who are sitting there playing the Cavs right now, the Pacers have been sneaking into that 8 spot quite a bit. And they've been in that 8, 9, and 10 over the past couple of years. And now they've worked their way up into 4. And the Pacers have quietly been doing it and piecing that team together. That is a group that should start scaring some people too. I mean, Cleveland turned around and had done it that way even before LeBron came back. So, no, like I said, I mean, is it at a point where some teams could sandbag their schedule to get a better draw, either from the play-in game or where they have to be seated at in the first round of the conference?
Wait, whoa. The Cavaliers are without 3 players tonight? Garland, Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter are all out for tonight, and they are still up 11 at halftime?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm sorry. It's Cleveland basketball. Next man up.
I love Kenny Atkinson and what he's brought to that team. I love it.
It's next man up, dude. Next, plug and play, dude. Plug and play.
And George, do me a favor. Can you put the last comment that Clint made about Jalen Green on this real quickly? I want to address that because and Clint, that's my point exactly. Jalen Green, good young player. I mean, he's helped bring the Rockets back to some success. But when you don't play in a Game 7, the heart beats a little faster in a Game 7. The jitters get a little jittery more in the Game 7, and the Warriors have been through that. They're not worried about that stuff. The Rockets were. It doesn't matter who's home and who's away in a Game 7, because when a Game 7 happens, anything's possible.
Right. Whether you're home or visitor, anything is going to
Exactly.
happen. Anything. I mean, we just talked about the Avalanche choking the chicken.
Yeah, they're up 2-0 with like 15 minutes to go.
So yeah, when it comes to Game 7, you throw everything out the window. And I saw a video earlier. The guy turned around and bet the Houston Rockets to win, and he's like, "What was I thinking?" And the dude's got everything Houston Rockets, in his man cave, and he's like, "What was I thinking?" And he starts naming off all the Warriors players, and he's like, "What was I thinking?" And it's like, dude, how much did you bet on this thing? And he goes, "It's a $300 bet, and I blew it." I was like, "Yes, you did."
Yeah, Clint, Green went through one of them young player moments where welcome to the play. He had a welcome to the playoffs moment. But I mean, if you look at the Warriors, they don't really the Warriors don't have as deep as a team as they used to.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler played 44 minutes. Jimmy Butler, I am solely convinced, is gonna die on the basketball court because the guy does not sit. The guy is freaking.
But Sam, that's the way it should be. I'm sick and tired of these guys sitting there getting paid a gazillion dollars, and they're sitting literally every other night when it comes time to play. It's every other game they're taking off. It's like, oh, you have a 72 game, or I'm sorry, it is 72, correct, or 82?
82.
82. So you're only playing 41 games instead of playing a full 82 game. Michael Jordan even said these guys wouldn't have lasted in the 80s and 90s. They're too weak. They're soft. He said the NBA is soft. That one guy clearly said it, Sam. He said, as far as the GOAT conversation, is it easier to score now or back in the 80s and 90s? The kid said now. Of course, now. Because rules changed, it's gotten soft.
Exactly.
And basically he said, it's like, sorry, but, do you think any of these guys now could have played back in the 80s or 90s? Not a chance. Not a chance. Not enough stamina, poor training, poor off-season workouts, and overall just poor talent.
Well, not only that, how many guys will sit for 2-3 games in a row to load manage? Then the next time, they come and play. Oh, they're missing practice. Oh, their hamstring is sore. Yeah, because your body is trying to say, what the hell are you doing to me? Your body can't rest and then just go crazy. I like Jared Allen too. But just real quickly, no, and I agree with you on Jimmy Butler. I was just going to point out that every bad thing that has happened to the 76ers has been since they gave away Jimmy Butler to the Miami Heat because the coach didn't like him or something.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Butler played 44 minutes. Buddy Hield played 36. Draymond played 39. Steph played 45. Not saying anything about LeBron, but, Curry, if Curry wins, if the Warriors win another one, that's going to be Curry going to have 5. That's going to be 5 to LeBron's 4. We may need to start having a conversation.
And I agree with that conversation because Curry hasn't lost as many as LeBron has.
Curry's lost what, 2?
Has he lost 2? I thought it was still just the one. I thought it was just the
2016 to LeBron, and they lost to the Raptors in 2019.
That's right.
Barring the fact that is the same. Hold on, but that's the same finals that Kevin tore his Achilles and Clay tore his ACL.
Yep.
They were literally the walking. They were literally WWW. No, they
Yeah.
were literally www. The Walking Warriors, the Walking Wounded Warriors, basically. They had no one left.
Yeah.
And I blame, and real quickly, you're talking about all this load management shit. I blame that on Kawhi Leonard. He started this with all this load management crap. He made it cool.
Sam, my final gripe on GOAT on this.
Go ahead.
Where who has a better basketball ratings now or in the 80s and 90s?
80s and 90s.
So Michael Jordan brought all of the attention to basketball, and LeBron is basically forcing everybody to turn it off. Who's the GOAT now? End of conversation.
I don't want now. Here's the thing. I don't want to come out and say that. I don't want to say LeBron is the reason that the NBA has lost its ratings. I think he hasn't helped it since he kind of has. He's not must see TV anymore, but their ratings are just down. You don't even got to go back to the 90s. The ratings have been down since 2010. Ever since 2010 ended, it's been over. And that's because
I was going to say, I look at 2016. I think that's when everything peaked. Everything peaked in 2016 because that was the ultimate Cinderella story. That was the big, big ta-da that everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see LeBron do it in Cleveland. Ta-da. Now what?
Well,
There's
all right.
nothing left to look forward to. There's no rivalries. There's no super teams. There's
now hold on. That I'll blame on LeBron James. That's everyone's best friends now. There's no competition between everybody. Everyone's just a buddy now. There's no competition in the sport. That's the other thing that I hate about it. But here's the thing, right? We can agree on something. At one point in his career, no matter where, first time in Cleveland, Miami, second time in Cleveland, whatever. LeBron James at one point has been the face of this league.
Yes.
Michael Jordan was the face of this league.
Yep.
Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem, they were all faces of this league. Why, George? They were must-see television. If you knew they were on your TV that night, you shut up and everything else put aside, I'm watching this. Who the hell can you say that about in today's era? Because guess what? When LeBron and Curry are done, and that's coming up soon because they're not spring chickens, the league is about to have an identity problem.
Yeah, because I don't see.
Do not sit here and tell me.
I don't see anybody on this. I'm looking right at this, and yes, I know it looks like I am looking right at the screen. I am. I'm looking right at this. Where do you see superstars? Where? I don't. I mean, you're right.
There is no player in the league that is on the level at their current age that was. There is no young player in this league that is currently on the trajectory of a LeBron James or a Steph Curry. And I'm only using the two of them because they're the recent face. Even Steph at some point was the face of this league. You can make the case that him and LeBron were kind of co-faces of the league when LeBron went back to Cleveland.
Anthony, that's a very interesting question and a little
I'm not going to answer
morbid.
that question.
It's a little morbid, if anything. But it is May the 6th to be with you, so it qualifies. When they both technically pass, they will both get the hype.
Yeah, but I'm disagreeing with Clint. I don't think Anthony Edwards has that LeBron Jordan factor. Steph Curry, I don't think he has that.
But do you think a team like and a team like I think that's kind of the big thing is it's now gone back to being about a team versus being about the super teams or the 3 out of 5 superstars.
Also, the biggest other issue with Anthony Edwards, George, and I hate to switch this off a little bit. I'm not trying to be rude here. You got to think about market. No one gives a shit about the Minnesota Timberwolves.
No.
No. And I'm going to take you back 20 plus years, Georgie. No one gave two shit about Kevin Garnett until he went to Boston.
Right.
He was one of the best players in the league. He was athletic. He could pass. He could shoot. He could shoot from outside. He could post you up. He could take you off the dribble. Everyone remembers Kevin Garnett as this old post-up fadeaway jump shooter in Boston. But you didn't see that in Minnesota because no one gave a shit about Minnesota.
Yeah, and that's kind of the new thing. And with Milwaukee, that's kind of the thing coming up is what happens with Giannis now. It's like
he's not the face of the league.
No, and Wemby isn't even Wemby isn't even in here.
Wemby's 7'8" tall, and he shoots 12 threes a game. You're literally almost 2 feet taller than your competition. Could you post somebody up for me, please?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the other item. So, George, I played basketball up until about 3 years ago. Now the body can't take it. I'm too fat. I went on the Shaquille O'Neal diet after he left Miami. I eat seafood, I eat it.
But he is in the team. When they won 2 years ago.
No, it was 4 years ago now.
Was it 4? Good Lord.
2021 is the year they won it.
Man, it's been a little while since.
And guess what?
Basketball. Damn.
And guess how they've responded with it? 3 consecutive first-round exits.
Yeah.
I'll give LeBron James the credit. He may have lost a lot of finals. At least he got to the damn finals. Now, I'm not saying he deserves GOAT conversation because he got to all those finals. He also lost 7 of them. So I'm not saying that. But it's just we are in such a war. The NBA is losing ratings. People talk about baseball being an unwatchable product because of the pitch clock and all. They are blowing the NBA away in ratings still. The NBA is more unwatchable than baseball will ever be.
Yeah, and the ticket pricing is beyond ridiculous.
Well, you own the Sixer games too for $10 again. That's how bad they are. I'm not upset about that. Well, George, if Shohei Ohtani were to never play another baseball game in his life, so starting tomorrow, right?
Yep.
They're still faces of the league. There's still Bryce Harper. There's still Aaron Judge. There's still guys like that. When LeBron and Curry leave,
and Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso's not even the face of his own team.
Oh, whatever.
He should be, because I'll tell you right now, I will make the case.
He is putting up the numbers to say, oh yeah.
And I will tell you this right now. If the Mets were smart, they would have put all that money they put into Juan Soto into their bullpen and their starting rotation. Because, yes, it looks cute in May when you're mashing the baseball, when you're playing the Marlins and the Rockies. Yes, that's awesome. But guess what? Eventually, you're going to have to play the freaking Dodgers. And the Dodgers right now will smack the Mets out in 5 games.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to jump ahead in sports. That is the most ignorant thing. And guess what? Nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn about it. In fact, they're just like, well, so and so is playing so and so. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And well, it's a tournament. Really? It just looks like another regular season game
with a fancy court design.
Big deal. Yeah, exactly. It's like wearing throwback uniforms in football during a regular season game. It's during the regular season. This doesn't mean squat. It doesn't mean pointless. A damn thing. It is the dumbest thing that the NBA could have even thought about doing. It's like whoop-de freaking do. So what? You know, big deal. You won some silly in-season tournament that means nothing, by the way, because it's not like you won the finals. You won some in-season tournament that nobody gives a damn about. And what do you do with the trophy? It sits in the owner's box. Yeah, so
Yeah, right.
and yep, this here we go. This is this is the other big thing. It worked in hockey, and I know hockey is
Yes.
look at tinkering it back again and running it back. And it's like, yes, because the dunk competition used to be something fun to watch. Now it's just boring as all get out. And the All-Star game is who can score 200 points first.
Well, see, the problem with All-Star Weekend is no big names do it anymore. Back just years ago when you had like Jason Richardson, Vince Carter, Andre Iguodala, Dominique Wilkins, all those guys used to do it. Now I get the guy who won it back-to-back years played in the freaking G League. Like, what? Not to mention, the three-point contest is also now watered down because every night in the NBA is a three-point contest. Literally,
Right.
you remember back in the day, and like the winner of the three-point contest would be like Kyle Korver or James Jones. They averaged 5 points the whole year, but they shot well from three. Remember when three-point shooters were specialists? Now it's just everybody's a three-point shooter.
Right, because everybody's worked on it. Everybody has worked on. I never noticed this until Bryce brought it up. Kids watching everything under the sun when it comes to basketball. I did not know Steph Curry can literally stand anywhere on the damn court and hit the damn thing. Actually, he did it from off the court in the tunnel.
Yep.
And hit it across the court and nailed it. And I'm watching this going, no, he just walked over and just went, yeah, I got this. And I'm going, yeah, right.
This is why
because somebody captioned it going, well, that was close. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I got snookered into that one. And I'm watching it and he made it. And I was like, who the hell can do that? I was just like, dude, you're not human because damn.
This is why some people have proposed a league rule change to where the three-point line could go off the court starting at the benches and take away the corners because they're too easy of threes to be made. The first fundamental you were taught back in the day in basketball is if you were not a mid-range jump shooter, you didn't have any business shooting to begin with. Now, there are guys that shoot better three-point jump shots than mid-range jump shots. And it's fucking sad.
I was going to say, mine who's sitting downstairs on a video controller right now doesn't do too shabby doing both. which I think is what the game needs more of. It's like, yeah, okay, you can, everybody's shooting threes, but can you hit a mid-range? Can you hit that mid-range jumper? Can you still make layups? And it's like, you know what? That's what somebody wants to see. They want to see, yes, I know Steph can put it from anywhere outside the three, but Steph can still hit the mid-range jumpers too and take it in for layups.
You know
He's
who was the
all-around player?
That? You know who was the best mid-range jump shooter of my era that I love to watch? Easily Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade. Go back and watch that entire 2006 Miami Heat playoff run. That dude would hit like 15 mid-range jump shots in a game and like 7 in a row effortlessly.
Anthony, I know. And, the funny thing is last year's Luka compared to this year's Luka, I have no idea what the hell happened. But last year, Bryce and I, we watched that 77-point performance. It was something unplanned. We weren't actually even, we're just sitting there and turn the TV on and Bryce goes, hey, can we watch, of course he wanted to try to stay up late. What kid wouldn't? And he's like, well, mom went to bed and is like, hey, you want to watch the basketball game? And we're watching Dallas and it was just about the second quarter and we're watching this game And next thing you know, we're getting into that fourth quarter and we're watching Luka just run this bad boy. And it's like, okay, for a big man, boy, can take control of the game. Next thing you know is like, this guy's really taking control of the damn game. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal to watch. And it's like, yeah, we know it's like, when Kobe went off for his, career high. You're going to have those great nights. And it's like, and it's awesome when it does happen. And,
Of course.
when you keep up an average like that and you play literally almost every single night, if you're playing 60 out of those 82 games, you earned your paycheck. 60 out of those 82, I'll give you, hey, we all turn around and we've all got PTO time for a reason. You play 60 of the 82, pay the man.
Take a month for the next 9 days.
You only play 40. I'm sorry. You only get half of your pay. The hell
exactly.
You don't even sniff 38, 35. Dude, what are you doing in the league? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn how many points you think you're going to score. As an owner, I want your butt on the floor. That's what I'm paying you for. I am paying you to be on the floor. And you want to know why nobody's watching? Well, because, so-and-so's got a hangnail. Dude, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, excuse me. Spud web, split fingernails, hangnails, toe jam, you name it. They played through it. Shoulder sprains, groin pulls, they played through it. Because guess what? The owners were paying them to play ball. So
Isaiah
guess what,
Thomas,
fellas? Get your ass on the floor and play ball.
Isaiah Thomas literally played with his ankle puffed up like a balloon.
I mean, it's like beating a dead horse. These guys, they want to get paid all the money, but they don't want to play.
Nope.
It's like they want to play when they want to play. That's not how this works. I'm sorry. But that's kind of it's like that's something new that the contracts have to reflect. You play a certain percentage, you get a certain percentage of your contract that I am paying you for. And that's what the NBA ownership needs to stand up and put their foot down and say enough is enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're not making, sorry, Dallas Maverick, we ain't making enough money to turn around and pay anybody on the floor. You're not making the money back at all. And you're losing more money. It's like, oh, well, we're making it in jersey sales. No, you're not.
No.
You ain't making squat in jersey sales. Sorry about your luck. That marketing and merchandising for a player, what's it get you? It gets you a little bit more, but not a lot of it more.
Well,
Ownership will tell you merchandising isn't barely anything unless you've got a few. Unless you have a team of multiple players that you can turn around and sell the jerseys of. What you gonna have? You want to have a shop that has 6-7 guys jerseys up there, and you have your choice of, hey, I want that guy, or I want, everybody's got their guy. Or you're going to have the one guy like San Antonio. You got Wemby. It's like, yeah, you just got Wemby up there. Yeah,
George,
okay. Who else
now,
you got?
I understand that, it's a different sport, but I'll say this. I went up to Lancaster, PA a few months back. This was the week before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So we went to Lancaster, and then we took a trip about 45 minutes away from that and went to the Eagles Pro Shop.
Okay.
George, it if I had the money, I could have walked out with about 17 players off of the damn 53-man roster.
Because you've got more than one guy.
Exactly. And the other thing is with the NBA that they have played this game and they have not tried. They are going to start. They're already getting their asses handed to them in the international game. The NFL is playing games in other countries at a alarming rate. They're going to continue to add new places to play. They are taking those fans away from the NBA. Baseball is trying to do that. Hockey with the world stuff, they are taking themselves out of the international market. The NFL is going to run the international sports market because they probably already do, but the NBA is getting their asses kicked in the international market.
I was going to say hockey still does very well in the international market because of all the European players. I mean, I think they are the first. They're the ones who hit the ground running, and were in it early. And the NFL went, "Hey, that's not a bad idea," and then NFL Europe went in the pooper because it was a little too soon. Now they're doing it right, and it's like, yeah, we're definitely watchable now, and it's on like Donkey Kong. So yeah, it makes it a lot more appeasing. And you're right.
Yeah.
NBA, sorry about your luck, but when now there's a European league, there's the Greek league, you got leagues in Japan. I mean, everybody's got a league. Okay.
Yeah.
So what? Guess what? Sorry about your luck, but everybody's got a league. So what? It's like baseball. Everybody's got a league.
Yeah.
You're not watchable.
No. And
you're not watchable.
And
Nobody
like
cares.
I said, they have it. Excuse me. After everything with COVID happened, the NFL realized that they could not just be revenue to their current fan base. They have gone out. They've gone out to Brazil. They go out to London. I think they're going to Ireland soon. They're just going to continue to add places to go play a football game and get that international revenue. The NFL is going to run the entire sports world one day because they're going to have more money than everyone else.
I think they're doing it right, by the way, because you don't want to push too hard in the aspect of, hey, you get that interest and you get, say all of a sudden you're going to play 7-8 games outside the country. And then you get into 10 to 12 games outside of the country and you're over in Europe. Say just for S&G, just because you've got Australian guys kicking into the league now, you go play down in Australia. Holy crap. You are going to make so many people excited by rolling with that one.
Well, I can tell you now.
And I know for a fact, because my friend Joss, who I met through sports memorabilia stuff, huge Raider fan, big NFL guy, loves it, said he wishes the NFL would bring just one game. He doesn't care who it is. He said if they brought one game to Australia, it would sell out like that. He said people would be beating the snot out of each other just to get in.
Well, if they ever do, I think I have a feeling on one of the teams it may be. It may be the Ravens. That's why they had to cut Justin Tucker.
Really? We were doing so well.
Oh, we were.
We were.
But I'm not,
we were doing so well.
Listen, Bruiser's not here. Someone has to take up for him.
Give it 30 minutes.
He's going. No, he's fine. I know he's. I'm perfectly okay with just. I gotta throw a couple here and there. That's all I gotta
do. Don't remember if it was Florida. I don't remember if it was Florida.
No, it's in freaking Philly too. But Tyler wanted to go to
I
it, but I don't know if we
I
are.
don't know if it was in Florida. We're done with the brackets anyway. Let me double check that, Anthony. Hang on. Do, 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 do. Host cities are Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, LA, Miami, and MetLife Stadium.
R.I.P.
Sam, nobody's going to Philly.
Who said no one's going to Philly?
Anthony.
Anthony, that's wrong. The Commanders came to Philly in the NFC title game and got their asses kicked.
Yep. So that is that's the rundown of Florida. So yes, it will be. And for Kansas City, it's the Kansas City Stadium, primarily the football stadiums.
Yeah.
And
But also, here's another thing I want to bring up real quick when I talk about sports and money. Here's a prime example, George. Now, let's look at that. Now, there are some situations, right, that in life you can't handle, like the Tampa Bay Rays, right? They cannot help what happened to Tropicana. The field
Right.
got destroyed, and all the idiots that are out there say, "Oh, well, they could just play it like outdoors." No, that's not how this works. That they don't have a drain system in that stadium, you nimrod. But look at the age, right? They're going to go sit in Sacramento for 2 years, and they don't even know if they'll have a stadium to play in 2 years.
right.
If the NFL, right? This is what I'm talking about with money. If the NFL woke up tomorrow and let's just shits and giggles. Let's say a team, there was a storm, something damaged a stadium to where they can't play in it for a year. They are going to go find the biggest college in that market and say, here is this amount of money. We need the stadium on Sundays.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings did it when they were still building their new place.
Yeah,
And
they needed 1 year.
Right. And they played University of Minnesota.
Exactly.
Yeah. But just for the 1 year, they already had.
But that's what I'm saying. If they needed to, they could go throw a college. I don't know. Let's just say $4 million. Here's $4 million for your school. I need your stadium on Sundays.
Per game. It's $4 million per game.
Exactly. You know the NFL can afford it. That's the thing. They're still going to have capacity because college stadiums, some of them fit more. Look at Penn State. Beaver Stadium doubles the capacity of the Lynx.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I remember, the big house is up to 128,000.
And I'm going to be at Penn State in September. I'm going to be up there on the 12th when they play Villanova. I wanted to go against Oregon, but the finances said no. I got 2 trips planned out this year. I got Penn State in September, and I'm coming out to your guys' neck of the woods in August. Of course, you won't be there.
107, but in certain events, 115,000. The big house can hold.
Yeah, like if anything, that's just going to make the NFL more popular.
Right. Because they're not because they're not usually selling that many tickets, because the major stadiums are only around 70 to 80.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Jerry's world, and then you're back up into 6 digits.
Give me a break.
I'm just saying.
Well, now is that capacity a kickoff or capacity when they're down 20 points in the third quarter?
Ooh. And the shoe holds 102,000. So come on. Realistically, that's not bad. But how
And
many
don't get
how
me
many
wrong.
are how many fans are the A's actually averaging right now in that little hole?
Probably maybe 4,000 to 5,000.
I mean, and that's mostly what that place can hold. I mean, when we saw it, when I pulled it up last week and I looked at the pictures of it, it's just about the same amount of size as the Crusher Stadium is over here in Avon, and it's a minor league stadium.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're having a hard time selling that out, what investors in Vegas are looking at you going, what are you going to do here?
Yeah. Because once again, like, and don't get me wrong, I know college games, they draw, they're drawing students, family, alumni, boosters, all those people go to those games. NCAA has like 8,000 people at the freaking games. I get that. But you're telling me that these schools don't plan ahead to say, heaven forbid, the NFL would need a stadium on a Sunday? We'd pack this shit out and make more money off them.
You'd be flipping that paint so fast it wouldn't even be funny.
You're telling me now I'm going to use the Steelers because they're more closer to Penn State than the Eagles are. You're telling me if the Steelers didn't call Penn State and say we need your field for a freaking Sunday, you're telling me that shit wouldn't be black and gold in 24 hours?
In a minute.
F that white out.
Right. In
the
a
Steelers
minute.
are giving us $10 million. Shut up.
I was gonna say, and it's easy to go over white. It's easy to go over white paint. It's easy to go over white paint with black. Super easy.
We're hitting the transfer portal with this NIL money. Oh my God.
Oh. Oh, too funny. Okay. Into one of the primary topics we've got here, the other one. And I know I brought it up to you and you were like,
wait. We have primary topics?
Yeah, it's in the title up there in the corner.
So what the hell are you doing for the past
hour? The other topic, the playoff thing and whatnot.
I guess you could say that.
That's how that works. We'll show you. That's kind of how this works.
Maybe I should act like I actually do a show of my own. Maybe I should act like that.
I was gonna say, it's the way that it's allowed to flow, but we do turn around and have segmentation, and we move into our couple of pieces that we usually do, but the shows are allowed to flow. You don't have to be locked down like on PTI.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
But there was something that came up with when I saw the video of Warren Moon bringing in the number 1 jersey to Cam Ward and basically saying, hey, they're unretiring the number and he's all good with it, and literally handed him the number 1 and said, it's all you, kid, go for it. And I thought to myself, and forgive me if I'm misspeaking, but I believe that with the Giants, it was also done for the Rook, and they had to go to somebody's family to turn around and get the permission because the guy is passed on for him to have the number.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, this is a really stupid thing to be doing. Honestly. It's a number. If you're going to thanks, Clint. Yeah, it was for Malik Neighbors. Appreciate it. Thank you. How many numbers are retired in each of the 4 main sports? And so the research department is slacking in areas, so I've picked up a little bit of slack.
Whoa.
So For hockey, there's 184 numbers. 184 numbers total that are retired, including, get this, 10 former retirements and 25 quote unquote honored numbers.
Okay.
And of course, some teams have retired the same number for multiple players. The Lions did it for number 20 with Barry and with which Zolt was here. I forgot who the gentleman was before Barry. But but it was like, okay, I kind of get it. For basketball, there's 200 numbers retired. In baseball, 200. And in football, 163.
I have a hockey question regarding this subject.
Shoot.
Is 99 retired for all teams?
No.
Damn.
Nope.
Because I was going to say,
42
you know how
we know is for baseball.
Yeah.
We know
Well, that's what I'm
42
saying.
is for baseball.
Yeah, and I understand.
For very good reason.
Yeah.
For very good reason. Now,
Yeah.
of course, the cancer culture out there will disagree with that, but the hell with them. But for very good reason. Personally, as far as I'm concerned, that should be the only one that's retired out of all the sports.
Yeah.
I don't like this because eventually another freaking 100 years down the road, you're not going to have enough numbers. You're going to have to go to putting 3 digits on the damn things. Enough is enough. Stick with the number system you got. You put the names in your Ring of Honor or Hall of Fame, just like a lot of the teams do now. And they are done with doing the quote unquote number retirement.
Yeah.
Enough with the number retirements. Everybody has numbers. They're all going to come around to coming back to the same damn numbers eventually when they get put to a team. The kid's going to want a certain number. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I've got to go get permission from so-and-so. You know, I mean, shoot, right now, half of the time it's like, oh, well, this veteran's coming over to this team. He wants to bring his number with him. Hey, look, sorry about your damn luck. Somebody on the team's already got the number. Well, I'll pay you for it. Why? I'm doing just fine wearing my 21. Why do I need to turn around and have you buy it from me? I mean, yeah, you're probably going to sit there and go, yeah, I'll give you a few mil for it. No, it's my number. Thank you very much. Go pick another one. You don't like it? Too bad. You shouldn't have left where you left if it's that kind of ordeal. I mean, if you got traded, hey, the team didn't think you were worth enough and they were going to get more for you now. That means you come in and you got to pick a new number. Sorry about your damn luck. I ain't giving up my number. The hell with you.
Yeah, I agree.
That's an interesting point. Clint, I thought about that. I'm still more on the side of you want to be in the Ring of Honor or whatever your name goes in, not your numbers. Because like I said just now, the number 20 for the Lions, there were like 4 guys attached to it. But what is for the one person that it was primarily retired for? Barry Sanders.
Nope.
Not the other guys. Not the other guys. They just happened to get honored because they all wore that number, but it was primarily for Barry. So you put Barry's name up there. You didn't need to put the other 4 guys, but yet the other 4 guys are going to be attached to that number. but nobody remembers who the hell the other guys were. The only person
Yep.
they're remembering is Barry Sanders. Sorry. I mean, it's still just like everybody wanted 17. When you had Braylon Edwards come here and he wanted 17, it's like, dude, Brian Sipes that's the guy associated with 17. If you were going to retire, you couldn't retire it after that because you'd have to have Braylon Edwards as a retirement with it. And you don't want anything to do with the dude. So why would you turn around and have it?
Well, that's kind of like the Eagles, the Phillies. The Phillies have it. The Phillies normally only retire numbers of players that spent their whole career with the Phillies, but really like they were a part of something. Like the 2008 Phillies, 3 guys, 6, 11, and 26. They will be retired eventually. They have never been worn again since Rollins, Utley, and Howard have left. Nobody has worn them.
Okay.
So they're already semi-retired, but they don't let certain guys do not. But like Pat Burrow was a big part of the Phillies organization for a long time. But I've seen plenty of guys. I've seen a few guys since he left wear 5.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I agree. Like you said, eventually we're going to run out of freaking numbers here, guys. Like we still need a leeway here.
And it's ignorance. Because you're always just going to associate the one guy with that number. The one guy.
Yeah.
LeBron started with 23. Why? Because it was Michael Jordan's number. He wanted to follow in that footstep trend. So he wanted 23.
Yeah.
I get it, but make your own number.
So, let me ask you this one. What was your personal opinion when Mariano Rivera wore 42?
Well, that was baseball's decision later on. I mean, they waited until 2017. I mean, I think personally baseball could have done it a lot damn sooner if that's what they were going to do. Yeah, Clint, that's another thing. Yeah, and like I said, it's stupid when you got guys who say they wore that number since Pop Warner or the Pal League or Pee Wee. They've had that number forever, and that's the only number they've ever known. And you've got somebody who goes, no, you can't have it. Dude, you don't play anymore.
Yeah.
You're not playing anymore. The number's available. What the hell? Why can't I have it?
This is the problem with cancel culture, because as soon as an organization steps over the retired player and wants to give them just an instant, it ain't gonna happen, right? Abdul Carter, what did he want at 56? Lawrence Taylor said, hell no. He wanted 11. And he wanted 11 because that was his Penn State number. Chris Sims actually was going to give to him. His family vetoed against him because his family played in the National Football League. Now, if the Giants as an organization said, I'm sorry, did your family play for our organization? No, you did. Were you okay with it? Okay, we're going over your family and we're going to give him the number. There is going to be a social media outburst from hell if that happens.
Oh, too bad, too sad. Tough beans.
I agree with you.
Tough beans. That's too damn bad.
And I agree with you.
Like I said, the numbers don't make who the person was. It's the name who made the person who they were.
Exactly.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Kobe Bryant wore 2 different numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So, what? you've got the greatest of all times wearing multiple numbers, and it's like, oh, well, the league will retire all of them. It's like, why? It's the person's name that you remember. It's not the number. Who gives a
nobody.
damn? It is the dumbest thing ever. Is that you actually would retire a number because of somebody. Good question, Sean or Anthony. Was Sean better as a 36 or 21? He was good all the way around. But does that mean that 36 or the 21, and I believe it's 21 that's retired? If I recall correctly. Because the 36 was his rookie year, and then he changed it, and he was 21 after the fact. But still, now and
there you go.
Now that Anthony, you got me thinking there. In memoriam, would you turn around and have that number retired?
I think for instances like that, then yeah.
I would almost say for an instance like this, I would almost that's a great thought right there. That is. Yeah, that's a tough one. That is a very, very tough one. Would you do it in memoriam of?
Yeah, let me ask, do you have an issue with Kobe's both his numbers being retired?
Yeah.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
What's the issue?
Right, because pick a number. So what? The guy goes through. What if he had gone through 4 numbers? Are you going to retire all 4?
No, all right, I understand that. I get where you're coming with that now.
Too many numbers. Yeah, I know.
I know we're not.
I know. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying is I would rather have the person's name. Everybody remembers the person for the name, not the number.
Yeah.
It's like how many other people knew that 36 was the number that he started with versus the 21 that he was more popularly known for. Average, I'm sorry, outside of a Redskins fan, the average NFL fan would not have known that.
The only thing
I did.
Can I tell you that I didn't know he wore 2 numbers?
Okay.
The most thing I remember about Sean Taylor was him.
Randy Moss wore 2 numbers. So does that mean you're retiring 81 and 18? No. Moss wore 18.
Yeah. I guess the one player that's been really segregated with his number, in my opinion, has been Jackie Robinson, of course, 42.
Right.
And Wayne Gretzky. 99, the great one. Those are the 2 guys that I think of when I think of numbers.
See, the thing is there's been, especially for hockey, we covered this just a little over a month ago about the multitude of quote unquote great ones, being with the Rocket Richard first, then Gordie Howe, then Wayne Gretzky, now Alex Ovechkin. I don't know. Again, and that was kind of the thing of the number went with him, between from the Oilers to the Kings to the Blues. I mean, but you're not going to retire the 99 in the Blues because he wasn't there but more than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
The only one you were retired in was in Edmonton.
Oh, and the Rangers.
Fair, yeah.
And the
Fair
Rangers. You're not going to retire the
Rangers.
99. You're not going to retire the Blues 99.
No.
No, you're not going to do that. Again, I don't think that the numbers should have anything to do with the name of the retirement of the player or the athlete. So that's why I'm totally locking it down of number retirement is the dumbest thing that you could probably set up for. I truly do. I'd rather that you remember the person's name rather than the number, and it's going to be, oh, that's the trivia question. It's like, oh yeah, how many players are associated with number 99?
Yeah.
Got plenty of people. Excuse me. Yeah, plenty of people.
Yeah,
How many people associated with number 1? Now, and nowadays, shoot, how many people are associated with number 0?
Yeah, well, I mean, now with the way the NFL, remember how the NFL kind of had like a tradition where certain positions wore certain numbers? Now you have
anybody
defensive linemen wearing number 11. Like, no, you don't. It doesn't even look right.
No, and I think that was kind of one of those weird things of everybody said, well, this position, it's this certain numbers. It's like, really?
That is true.
Really?
Yes, that is true. Pat Riley retired 23 in honor of Michael Jordan, and LeBron. That's why LeBron had to wear a 6 there.
Yeah, I remember that. That's right, Anthony.
No, Anthony. He didn't tackle him. He tried to decapitate him. Back when they were allowed to hit in the Pro Bowl, back when the Pro Bowl was actually a football game.
Yeah, right. That's right. When the Pro Bowl was a football game. Bruiser, we are into the heavy discussion about number retirement. And I feel that the number retirement should not be a thing, and more to show that the athlete's name should be in their ring of honors and everything instead of their number. For example, the example I brought up was the Detroit Lions retired the number 20 a few years ago, and they had to have all 4 guys who wore that number 20, who were not extreme players like Barry Sanders was, to retire that number 20. And that was my argument.
I disagree in the sense that I think that there should be some number retirement.
Okay.
When Dale Earnhardt died and NASCAR retired the number 3 across all series, it wasn't just in the Cup. They retired it across all 3 series.
See, Sam, and somebody had brought up about that in memoriam with Sean Taylor. I totally forgot about Dale Earnhardt.
And then they brought it back about 10, 15 years ago. But there was a period of time where you could not get the number 3 in NASCAR. Nobody had it. Nobody was allowed to have it.
Now, what brought that up to bring it back? I mean, because that was such...
Austin Dillon wanted the number. Austin Dillon went to Junior and asked Junior if he could run it. even though Austin Dillon's grandfather, Richard Childress, owned the number, he went to Junior, and Junior gave his blessing.
Okay.
And then Junior ran it in a couple of Xfinity races too.
Okay.
But yeah, but Junior mainly is Junior's mainly the reason that number is back.
So in a memoriam aspect, because like I said,
The number 42
discussing
in baseball.
Taylor. Yes, we brought that up. We said 100%. I agree with the reasoning for that one.
I think it's so dope on Jackie Robinson Day that everybody wears number 42. And there's no and I don't know if all teams do it, but the games that I watched this year on Jackie Robinson Day, none of the players had names on the back of the jerseys. It was just
they never do.
No, they usually do. No one has names on the back.
Nobody's got them on it. Yeah,
it's just the number 40, which I think is I like that. Basketball, I think that the number 23 should be retired because I don't think anybody will do what Jordan did.
Nope.
2 3-peats, you won 6 championships. Like, that's insane. And you're probably, you are arguably one of the greatest players of all time.
And the face of the last great era of basketball.
I don't want to say it's the last great era because I think right now is some good basketball too, and I think you could put LeBron as the face of that.
We had a pretty strong argument of the weakness and the softness of today's NBA versus.
It's just like football. It's an offensive era of basketball. We remember when you could hand check and play defense and actually put a body on somebody. But it doesn't mean that the play now is any less great. It's the same with the NFL. The NFL is in a more offensive era, but I tell you what, we watch every week to watch one of those wide receivers go up on them tiptoes and see if they can put them down in bounds with a touchdown.
Yeah, that gets me into a whole other argument too.
Look, I'm not saying
you're right.
I'm not saying that we don't need to bring back some amount of defense into sports. However, to say that was the last great era, I think is a bit of a fallacy because you can still have great eras even though the rules and the times have changed.
Fair enough. Now, let me ask you this because I asked George this earlier. So, the big number issue right now going on is in the NFL with Abdul Carter. He asked Lawrence Taylor could he wear his number, and Lawrence Taylor told him to take a hike. He then attempted to ask Chris Sims if he could wear 11, and apparently Sims was willing to do it, but then Sims' family won't allow it.
I am of the opinion that unless the number's retired completely, it's fair game. I don't care who wore it.
Yeah.
If I want to play for the Patriots and I want to wear number 12 and number 12's not retired, I don't give two shits that Tom Brady wore it. I'm gonna wear number 12.
Yeah, Phil Sims number 11 has been retired by the Giants since 2003.
Yeah, and apparently his family outvoted him to say no to Abdul Carter, which I am under. Look, if Sims comes out and says, no, I don't want you to wear my number, I kind of get it. I'm sorry, Mr. Did his family suit up on Sundays?
No.
And play those games? I don't think so.
I don't. I hate this dog and pony show of prostrating yourself among the older players. Please, sir, can I have your number?
That's why I brought this up.
I don't give a shit. I don't. Because I tell you what, Lawrence Taylor is probably 3 street hookers and 4 pounds of coke into his night. So, like, he's not going to remember that conversation.
Oh, you thought what I was saying earlier was bad.
Oh, wow.
I'm not wrong.
Nope, you're
You're
not
not
wrong.
wrong.
You're not wrong. You are
I
not
mean,
wrong.
Lawrence Taylor, Daryl Strawberry. They're the two New Yorkers that probably have the highest tab at call centers across that city.
So
Call girls is what I meant.
yeah,
Not
I
call
had brought it
centers.
up. Football has 163 numbers, hockey has 184, and baseball and basketball have 200 retired.
So, I mean, like for hockey, Bobby Hull, Wayne Gretzky, Martin Brodeur, Flurries, when Flurry retires, his number is going to get retired in Pittsburgh. Like, yeah, some of those numbers should be retired. But like, this idea, and football and basketball seem to be the worst at it. Let me go prostrate myself like some sort of peasant before you. Oh, please, sir, let Dobby have your used sock.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was great. That was awesome. Boy, I mean, folks, that was pure classic right there. That was great. But that's the big kicker is you're going to end up running out of single to double digit numbers and you're going to start using 3 numbers.
No, because
you're going to start breaking into the 3-digit numbers.
I think what needs to happen is the young kids and the NFL and the NHL, not even the NHL, but the NBA for sure, need to come in and be like, look, I don't care that you played here 22 years ago for 4 games. Your number is not that special. You have to have had to retire a number. You had to have done something extremely special in it. Like I said, Dale Earnhardt, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Jackie Robinson, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, LeBron James. I don't even think Kobe Bryant's number should be retired. You know why? Because I don't think Kobe Bryant was that good.
What'd you put in your protein shake? Hold on.
His ass out. Boot him for that shit.
Whoa, hello, wait a minute. Run this by me one more time.
Oh yeah, I need to hear this.
I want to hear this argument. I need, listen, Bruiser, you don't pull any punches and you don't BS your way in topics. So I got to hear this.
Kobe Bryant designed the team so that he was the main offensive option for a number of years. Kobe Bryant didn't have any choice but to put up the numbers that he put up with the Lakers, or else they would not have been successful. Was Kobe Bryant a student? Absolutely. Did he work very hard? 100%. Was he a talented basketball player? 110%. Is he as good as everybody has mythologized him to be? No. And the only reason that they did is because he died in such a tragic fashion. Kobe Bryant was a very good basketball player on a team that did not put up great offensive numbers with a coach who knew how to maximize what they did in Phil Jackson.
Okay, but you do realize that Phil also coached a guy in Chicago that basically had the same type of repertoire, right? We're aware of that.
Sam, don't get hot at me, okay? I'm not arguing with you.
I'm about to start arguing.
This is about to be a very interesting
No, because
duel.
you're saying that Kobe centered the teams to where he had to be the number one option, right?
He was the number one option. He was the only. He was the best option.
Okay, Michael Jordan wasn't.
What did Michael Jordan have around him? Rodman, Pippen, B.J. Armstrong.
Okay.
Look at the list of Hall of Famers that played with Jordan and with Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Those teams in the 90s for the Bulls revolutionized basketball. It was a completely different brand of basketball.
Absolutely. They freaking.
And in a way, Jackson did it again with the Lakers teams and Kobe. However, late 2000s Kobe became a guy that the night that I formed this opinion that it was cemented was the 83-point night for Kobe.
Okay.
Where I watched that game and I'm like, there are plenty of other people open. Pass the damn ball. And he just kept taking shots and taking shots and taking shots.
Bruiser, you are aware that year the Lakers had a starting five that consisted of Kobe Bryant, Smush Parker, and Kwame freaking Brown, right? He was the only guy on the team.
You're making my point. That's exactly my point. You just made it for me.
Bruiser, do you really think the Lakers are going to put more touches in the hands of guys like Sasa Vujicic and Kwame Brown over Kobe freaking Bryant?
But you're making my point about Kobe Bryant not being as great as everybody makes him out to be because there wasn't anybody else around him. You are only truly great when you have greatness around you.
Yeah.
The Lakers had a chance to put a dynasty together that probably would have made what the Golden State Warriors ended up doing look like peanuts, except they couldn't keep the egos of Shaq and Kobe together.
And you can blame that on Shaq. That ain't Kobe's fault because unlike
I didn't
that,
say it was either.
No, I know that. I'm just
Kobe
saying.
Bryant? Stop, Sam. Is Kobe Bryant a top 25 basketball player? Yes, but I don't believe he's on the Mount Rushmore that everybody wants to put him on.
Okay, I'm listening.
I just laid it all out. I said
Who's
he's a
on
top.
Who's on your
Is he
Mount
a top
Rushmore?
25 player of all time? Yes, but he's not one of the four best.
I'm waiting to hear who's your four best.
Oscar Robertson,
Noted.
Michael Jordan,
Okay.
Noted.
Larry Bird,
Noted.
Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Interesting.
Not no, the Kareem. No, Kareem was
Very interesting.
Kareem-
You know, that is very interesting. I was actually even going to throw Bill Russell on mine.
You can throw Bill Russell on there. Hell, you could throw
Russell.
you could throw the logo on there. You could throw Jerry West on there.
You could.
Yeah,
You could.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'm just happy nobody here has LeBron on there. I'm happy about that.
To me, Oscar Robertson is probably the greatest point guard to have ever played the game. He was big, he was athletic, and if you go back and watch like footage of him playing, he did stuff in that time period that nobody else did.
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Yeah, threw you for a loop
Funny.
there. Georgia actually had one prepared.
Yeah, blew. Yeah, mind blown here. No doubt about. I was waiting for Bill Russell to kind of be mentioned, but no, I kudos on that because yeah, that's not a bad Mount Rushmore by any stretch. Not bad at all.
And you could even like, for me, Kareem Abdul is always going to be the quintessential big man. Him, him or Dr. J. But I think you could find an argument where you could put Hakeem Olajuwon on that Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
You know why Hakeem Olajuwon gets so overlooked in those arguments is because he literally played in the era of the 2-3-peat. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Guys like Barkley, Olajuwon, Malone, Stockton all get overlooked because they were in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets how good of a player Isaiah Thomas was for the Pistons.
Oh,
They
I
just
witnessed it. I
They
witnessed
just
it.
remember what a shit show he was as a coach.
Right.
I really wish, because the years the Rockets won their titles, of course, Jordan was in the league.
Right.
I wish we would have got that series.
I really wanted to see a Patrick Ewing. That's another one. That's another guy that gets forgotten
Ewing.
about. Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Um,
We're already through 10. We have already named 10 guys who are not Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Steph. We've already named 10 guys right there. They're already, those guys are not even in our top 10. We've already named 10 other guys.
that I really would have liked to have seen a Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone NBA Finals one year in the 90s. Utah Jazz, New York Knicks. That'd have been great.
That would have been fun as hell. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That would have been fun. Sure.
Larry Nance, Mark Price.
Yep.
Well,
Brad Daugherty was a great center.
I was going to say Doherty. Yep.
what about Sean Kemp and Gary Payton?
Gauskas.
Yeah, Ziggy. Yeah.
Big Z.
And you're right.
Big Z.
Peyton. Yeah. Sean Payton. Yep. The hell?
And Abdul
Somebody spent a little too much time on Photoshop, apparently.
Sir, when I Google searched it, there was at least 8 different ones.
Oh God. Yeah, I was gonna say some people have way too much time on their hands.
You could, Ben Wallace. You could name a number of players.
Yeah.
That I would put in the top. Kobe Bryant is definitely a top 20, if not a top 15 player. I will agree with that. I don't want to put him on the pedestal that other people do because of we tend to do that to people when they die in such a tragic fashion, especially in sports. You look at Roberto Clemente in the Pirates. You know what I mean? He died in a very tragic fashion, but he wasn't even at the peak of his career yet when he died.
Nope.
Yeah, and I think Sean Taylor really wasn't even into the peak yet either.
No.
He was just getting started.
But Kobe was good. I don't think he was the level of great that everybody just puts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say this about Kobe. I think somewhere deep down inside him, he was the only guy I can remember. I think he actually was trying to catch Jordan.
Oh, he said it in an interview.
Yeah, he was the only guy that you'll ever hear him say that because damn near came close. He got 5 rings. He only needed one more. Now, granted, it's not his fault that after he tore his Achilles, the entire Laker organization turned to a shit show, and they've been a shit show ever since he retired anyway. But because LeBron always LeBron always ducks the question. He's like, oh, I'm not chasing Jordan. I'm not. Yes, you are. You've been chasing it since you entered the league and you wore 23. That right there told us you were chasing it.
I don't think in today's day and age you need to chase Jordan.
Well, he does. He's the only guy left that we used to put comparisons to him is LeBron. There ain't nobody else in this league now we're comparing to Michael freaking Jordan.
No,
and that's why the other kid from Akron hates that he would even be involved in that conversation. And I like that about Steph Curry. He's like, I don't even want to be in that conversation. He just wants to play basketball. And he just happens to be pretty solid at it.
Steph Curry was from Akron.
Yeah.
I forget that too.
Well,
I don't like Steph Curry.
Really?
It's not his basketball. I don't like the person.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He comes across as very arrogant and very full of himself.
I was going to say he's kind of the opposite. With
the interviews that I've heard of him, he just comes across as very arrogant and very. You got to remember, though, George.
Is it arrogance or confidence?
Arrogance.
Okay.
You got to remember, I don't watch as much basketball as everybody else does. So,
Right.
like, when you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But Zolt, I know you're coming into the conversation a little late. We were arguing about number retirement and when it should be and when it shouldn't be a thing.
Well, it should definitely be a thing. Okay, number retirement should come after player retirement.
Yes.
And I know there's special circumstances, but realistically, I think number retirement should come after Hall of Fame induction. For the most part.
Ooh.
Like I said, I'm willing to make special case exceptions.
We mentioned about
that's my
42.
personal opinion.
We mentioned about 42 for baseball for good damn reason. We all agree on that one.
Right.
Bruiser brought up a very good one that I had totally forgotten about when Dale Earnhardt passed and they retired off the number 3. And then it has been brought back since. But I turn around and, as a in memoriam because somebody brought up about Sean Taylor and 21. And I was like, I was kind of on the fence a little bit more on that one. Because he was just really getting good into his career. Really, it's like when you're on that upside of your peak and he hadn't really gotten there yet. He wasn't even peaking and he was still that good.
I mean, I will say this. I give a lot more leeway to a team retiring a number than I would say a league retiring a number.
So I'm going to jump on that because I was thinking about that. I think if a league is retiring a number, it needs to be something that is transcendent and extremely special. Like for me, if the NHL wanted to retire the number 8 and the number 99 across the board because of Ovechkin passing Gretzky's goal scoring record and what Gretzky did in the NHL, wouldn't have a problem with it. The fact that 42 is retired league-wide in the MLB, don't have a problem with it. Like I think you need to have done something extremely transcendent to have the league retire your number. The team, though, I think it comes after player retirement and Hall of Fame and all like that. You need to have done something pretty special.
I mean, there is such a thing as being your word transcendent for your team, and I understand that. I totally get it. Honestly, I'm just going to use a local one. Steve Yzerman, in my opinion, was transcendent for the Red Wings. He literally brought them from the dead wing era to Stanley Cup champions. He was there throughout the entire process.
And that was
we're not going
something
to talk about
somebody
the
else
process
said.
now.
Right. Somebody else mentioned that too, is you had to play for that team your whole career and done something special to have that done.
I'm sure there's any number of players on the Broad Street Bullies from the 70s that the Flyers could retire their number. Like, yeah.
Dude, hold on. They're still letting the Broad Street Bullies run the damn modern day team. Don't get me started with them. All right, no, I'm serious. They literally still play hockey like it's 1975.
That's okay.
Right, I gotta.
That's okay. The Penguins are still playing hockey like Crosby's a rookie.
That's fine. I wish I was in that era. I'm not even there. I'm signing brawlers and fighters for 4-year deals. Oh, yeah. And I still get. See, here's the problem with the Flyers, right? This is the problem. And I don't take Flyer insults to heart because I can. Here's the problem, right? They have no money to spend because they continue to give big 8-year deals out to guys like Travis Konechny and Travis Sanheim, who are not good enough to win you a Stanley Cup, but they are still too damn good to put you in the top 2 in the lottery. So the Flyers are literally going to be stuck in this freaking limbo for another 10 years, so it doesn't matter. But
I have a hunch. Hang on. I have a hunch we may have touched a nerve.
Dude, there's the nerves. I sparked one or two earlier on before you guys even got here. I sparked one or two. He's been on
like
today.
One of those day blades that you just wind up and let him go.
No, it's because literally Bobby Clark and them still have stay in the organization. Chuck Fletcher was listening to these guys who have not played hockey since the freaking 90s or late 80s, and they still let them run the damn hockey. They still take all their advice like it's 1976. The team hasn't had a goaltender since Bernie freaking Perrine. Maybe, and the only one since that was Hextall. Ever since then, it's been a merry-go-round. But now, back to the jersey
you need to
thing.
find more of your touch buttons there. This is great.
There ain't going to be no touching of a nerve joke tonight, especially with Dolt's background, okay? We're not doing this. Anyway, let me ask a very unique... Now, Dolt's talking about, like, you had to have done something transcendent for that team, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't believe anyone's worn it in Philly since. What about something like Nick Foles? I mean, he did win in Philly their first freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he was there for a cup of coffee too.
Of course, he was drafted by the team.
Like I said, and then pushed right alongside. Where is he?
He was there. He was 4 seasons? 5?
3.
He was with them from 2012 to 2014. He was drafted by them in 2012. He was there till 2014. Then he came back in 2017 and was there from 2017 to 2018. So he spent equivalent of 5 seasons with the team. Now, I think we can kind of cancel out any Chip Kelly personnel moves that he made in those times. So maybe we can null the fact that he traded him for Sam Bradford. So maybe we can just expunge that from the record, please. So, but no, I'm just asking because it's a unique situation because no Philly player has worn that number since he's left.
I think that's different. I don't know that is necessarily worthy of having your number retired.
I'm just asking. It was just a question. It was just an opinion. It was just a question.
No. It's a good question. I don't know that. Look, they might have
to put the statue up outside the stadium. That's good enough.
You want to put him in your hall in your ring of honor when he retires. Great. You want to acknowledge him, fine, but I don't think that's worthy of number retirement. Look, when the Browns finally win a Super Bowl, they're going to have to retire the whole organization.
I was going to say, yeah, that quarterback there will be a statue, there will be Ring of Honor, there will be
We're going to put the
everything.
movie Draft Day in the damn Ring of Honor.
there will be everything for whoever is the godsend of that team. There will be
They're going to
everything.
have to retire the
It'll
whole
be
thing.
backwards.
it will be the jackpot of jackpots when that happens.
You got it backwards. When the Browns win the Super Bowl, the rest of the league is retiring.
Look, all I want is that first Super Bowl win to be against the Lions, so that along with the Lombardi Trophy, the NFL has to present the barge to the
At the same time. Yes. That will be awesome. That will be the coolest thing ever.
Hey, Detroit wins, we burn the city down. Cleveland wins, Lake Erie goes.
We've already fought you guys. We already fought you guys for Toledo once.
Yeah. Still trying to figure out who actually won.
I mean,
We both lost.
Quite honest, I think Michigan might have got away with one on that one.
I think we might have. And nobody ever brings Wisconsin into it because Wisconsin had the UP and just got it taken away from them.
Right.
That's right. They did lose that in the war.
God. Oh, geez. That's
They
too
just said
funny.
this is Michigan's now.
Yeah.
You had nothing to do with this. We're just gonna take
I mean,
this.
let's face it. It was Wisconsin. They were probably like, wait, there was something there?
True. Oh.
So we'll move on to the elephant in the room. Zolt's got him posterized behind him.
This is a very touchy subject.
somebody hijacked Sam's show and sucked him into it.
Look, all I'm going to say, I just said it just in case Georgia didn't hear me. This is a very touchy subject, so let's feel this one out carefully, okay?
Oh, Zolt, he literally posted it on his screen in the chat and read it and went, "Oh damn," and delete and took it right back off. I got him. I didn't get him just screen again. I didn't get him just once. I got him twice. I got him twice.
When you said somebody hijacked, I don't know why, but I immediately thought Akers just jumped into the chat, started screaming about Justin Tucker.
Oh my God.
That's a whole other topic. It's like you got to get Akers. It's like somebody needs to do a health check.
Well, see, the worst part of this whole thing was when they came out on Twitter with that statement of the Ravens GM saying it was a football decision, and then the first comment you see is someone saying, "Well, a ball was involved in this. We know that for sure."
Oh.
Wow, and the one-liners just keep on rolling.
May need the plural version of that, but we're going to keep this. We're going to try to keep this as much of a PG show as we can, which we probably already failed at. So.
I was going to say we're
that was
that already.
That was well out the
window.
window.
We allow George on every week, so I mean, shit.
Oh, we'll just bring up the comments I brought up to you last night.
No. Let's not.
So well done.
Let's not say we did.
That was so well done. It was great. It was great. Even Tyler was just like, wow. Yeah, it's we knew this was happening. I mean, they clearly drafted a kicker. Dude, you're done. You're done. This whole debacle that you're in, it's
so let me
just as ugly as Deshaun Watson's, if not worse.
So how many accusations of sexual impropriety are there against Tucker at the moment?
Okay, so from what I've read, not all of them have been accusations. There was again, this is just I read something earlier this morning.
Should we be using the word allegedly?
Yeah, probably. A reporter got a tip. And
Yep. Keep going.
Son of a
Keep
bitch.
going. Keep going.
and
Keep going.
started digging. When the
Yep.
reporter was done, he had 12 varying accounts from different massage therapists.
Sam can't hold it
Sam
together.
bailed.
Sam can't hold it together. Sam, I think, fell out of his chair. Yeah.
He had 12
No, that's all because I
different-
broke the. That's all because if I break the chair.
Yeah, the journalist broke the story with, I believe, 12 different people and their accounts of what had happened. Not too long after that is when you had, I believe, 16 others came out public.
Surpassing
28.
Mr. Watson.
Yeah, I might be slightly off on the number, but I don't think I'm that far off. So,
Me, that's what she
and,
said.
and remember that was January. So, I think this has given the team plenty of time to look into this, and this was the result.
So, I guess was this a lot of a hey, is there a happy ending, or was this like a hey, look under the towel kind of situation? Like,
I think it was very similar to what we have heard previously from someone else. A lot of exposing themselves, a lot of moving themselves into where things are touching, things of that nature.
And
just gross behavior.
And he has one upped Mr. Watson by going through 8 different spas versus 2. Mr. Tucker got around.
Hold on, Zolt, move your head to the side real quick. Look at that face. That face looks like it belongs on a registry. That face screams, "Don't let me." That face screams, "Don't let me within 100 yards of the school zone."
Ooh. Allegedly.
Oh,
Reportedly.
hey, George.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the inhaler in a minute.
Well, here, let me bring you back down to reality for one quick second. Tyrese Halliburton 3-pointer with 1 second left. Pacers beat Cavs by 1.
Wow, that's
Been an interesting second round.
That's pretty bad.
Pacers are up 2-0.
After having a 19-point lead.
There was a tie with 47 seconds to go, and now
after having a 19-point lead, they blew it. Oh, that's gonna be a kick in the shorts.
The Pacers are up by 2, aren't they?
Yep. It
No,
will now be.
series
It will
tied, I
now be
believe.
up by 2.
No, they are
yes.
up by 2. You're right. You're right, Bruce. My mistake.
Yep.
I forgot they
now
won
up by
game
2.
1. My mistake.
Yep. It's now up by 2. The Cavs had a 19-point lead at one point at the end of the third.
There's still plenty of basketball left to be played. They're not even going to get through the playoffs until mid-July, so it's not going to matter.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to have to worry about Cleveland making it.
I mean, you want to talk about comebacks, though? We can always bring up St. Louis Winnipeg Game 7.
What a game.
Okay.
That was one hell of a game.
Have you watched the 30 for 30 on that yet?
No.
They did a 30 for 30 on that game and the riots that happened afterward.
It was hang on. It's like days ago.
Yeah.
How did they already have a 30 for 30?
I was going to say, how did they have a 30 for
30? When Winnipeg was in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh.
No, we're talking about the game from the other day.
Oh, I thought you were talking about from like 5 years ago.
No, it just happened 2 days ago.
Game 7.
Game 7.
St. Louis, the away team, I believe 4th seed in the
Yeah.
NHL's weird bracket. Up 3-1 with 2 minutes to go. Winnipeg scores. Then Winnipeg scores again with 1 second on the clock to tie
Yep.
it.
To tie it.
Then the game goes to double OT.
Did Winnipeg end up winning?
Yes,
Yes.
they did. There's something to be said about momentum.
Well, so there's a 30 for 30 about when it was, oddly enough, Winnipeg and I believe St. Louis. Was it Winnipeg? It was Winnipeg, but I can't remember. But it was the same. It was against Boston. It was Boston and Winnipeg in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. And Winnipeg lost in game 7, and then they burned the city to the ground.
Yeah.
People roaming through the streets chanting "Fuck you, Marchand" while they were burning shit.
As you will.
All right, Sir Zolt.
Yes.
What is our fill in the blank?
we want to fill in the blank. Okay. Hold on a second here.
We tackled one hell of one last night. Adam says, what the actual F just happened? Wow, the Cavs might be in trouble. You think?
Cavs.
Just the Cavs.
It's just the Cavs.
1 second while I figure out where the hell my damn cheat sheet is.
It's just the Cavs. Or as we could turn around and just basically tell Adam, it's the typical Cleveland thing. It happens all the time. Why are you surprised?
So no randomness today. This one came across. I grabbed it, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be good for tonight.
Is it a baseball one?
Unfortunately, no, sir. Although if you caught last week's was tricky.
Yeah, and we did pretty good.
You did pretty
We
good.
did.
We did.
I did not catch last week's. I was in the middle of working out last week.
Last week's was the top 25 winning percentage for college football and basketball combined. So the top schools winning percentage if you combine their football and basketball programs for last season.
So you had to know your college basketball pretty damn
because
good.
basketball was actually more important since they play more games. But yeah,
I feel like Auburn would have been up there.
they were there.
They
They were
were.
top 10. I think they were like 8th.
Yeah.
Auburn, Alabama,
Alabama
Texas.
was there. Was
Texas
there?
was not on the list.
No, they weren't.
They weren't on the list.
There was a big.
We were like, good thing Bruiser wasn't here because, yeah, Texas was not on the. In fact, Ohio State barely made the damn list.
Yeah.
Ohio State was
I take it
second
back.
to last.
2 years ago. 2 years ago was when UT made it to the Elite Eight.
Actually, since we're talking about it, let me see if I still have that. I do. Here, I'll even show you.
Was Pitt on there? Because Pitt's pretty good at basketball. Of course, Duke was number 1.
Wow. Justin
First
from
of all, I don't
Talking
have my
About
glasses.
Balls. This
Second of all-
just in. Talking About Balls will not be aired tomorrow at its regularly scheduled time. No show tomorrow. F Sports, I need a break.
Oh,
Quote
dear.
from Justin.
Oh dear.
Wow. Yikes. So, that's interesting. But yeah, I think everybody's going to need this.
Look at SMU in the top 10.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
was impressed. I think Sam, I think you got SMU. Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
I was going to say I'm still surprised I took a shot and got SMU.
I was going to say, I was the one who actually tagged Auburn.
Yep. The fun one at the end was them trying to come up with another Texas school because they
Oh
didn't have
my
because they didn't
God.
have Baylor.
Right. Because, yeah. Well, hey,
Everybody forgets Baylor's in Texas. It's right by Dallas.
but I did swing for the fence and I caught the outside pitch.
Yeah. You got there. You got there.
See, what throws me off is I would have been upset that Maryland this is 25 and Texas wasn't there. Like, how the Terps? When was the last time the Terps actually won a football game?
Yeah, that's what we were saying too.
All right, let me get today's up here. Nope. Yep. Okay. All right, so via FanDuel, NFL win totals for 2025.
Ooh.
I'm going to say they put the Browns at 7.5.
The Browns are not 7.5.
No, they're one of the 5.5s for sure. Yeah, dead
All
freaking
right.
last. Yeah. I'm gonna take a stab at the NFC 10.5 at the Commanders.
The Commanders are not 10.5.
Is
Ooh.
Philly one of the 10.5?
Philly is not a 10.5.
Are the
They're not the
Lions one of the
11.5, are they?
10.5?
Philly heavily favored.
Whoa, okay.
Are the Lions one of the 10.5s?
I thought that would have been switched personally.
The Lions schedule for 2025. I know the schedule's not out, but who they play, it is horrific.
Are they much better?
Are the Vikings the other 10.5?
The Vikings are not the other 10.5.
The 5.5 on the NFC. Is that the Saints?
It is not the Saints.
No, it's the Niners after week 8 and all their players are hurt.
Oh, go flog yourself. Go flog yourself.
Currently, it is not the 49ers.
No, the 49ers. The 49ers are one of the 7.5s, though.
They're
No,
not.
Sam, the 5.5 is just the number of weeks CMC will spend on the injury list this year.
Over.
Well, that's why the 49ers got a couple of running backs. Because they already anticipate that.
Zolt, is the other 10.5 for the NFC in the NFC North?
No.
Okay.
So the Niners must
10
be an 8.5 then.
Niners are not an 8.5.
Well, then
6.5?
somebody's drunk because they sure as hell ain't gonna be a 9.5.
I'm just saying, in between us doing this, if any of you guys or any of our fans wish to pop onto FanDuel and just take a quick look, feel free, because some of
people
these
were drinking.
Ooh.
Yeah, some people were drunk.
Is the other NFC 10.5 the Rams?
It is not.
Okay.
Okay. I feel better.
Is it the Bucks?
No.
Okay, because that would have been. When we say weird, that would have been.
So somebody put the Niners at 9.5.
The Niners are not at 9.5.
So that's
7.5.
They're 6.5.
They're not 6.5. They are
They're
not
7.5.
What? Whoa. Listen, as the resident 49er on this panel, somebody was seriously drunk.
I'm just saying, feel free if you want to throw your 10 cents at that under. I wouldn't
What?
blame you.
Oh my God! You think?
Let me just pull out the old FanDuel here.
I was gonna say, holy
Let me make
crap!
some easy money.
Everybody, go place your bets now. Good God!
Can I
What?
can I take a stab at one of the AFC 11.5 and just put the damn Chiefs in there
Yeah, we will put, in fact, the
Yeah.
damn Chiefs in there.
And the Bills.
and the Ravens?
Not a
Knock
whole lot of
those out
questions.
real
we
quick.
have on there.
That was easy.
Yeah, right. Let me take a stab at a 9.5 on the NFC. Is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Okay. Now, one of the
Who's
8.5 on the NFC, the Bears.
Is the Giants the other? Is the 5.5?
New York
It was
Football
going to be
Giants.
A. It was going to be A or B. The Saints or the Giants. It had to be.
Are the Cowboys one of the 6.5?
They are not.
We're rats.
7.5.
Should be or not.
Wishful thinking, Sam.
I would say if they're anywhere on 8.5, then Jerry's paying FanDuel some good money.
No kidding.
All right.
Are the Jets one of the 5.5 teams on the AFC?
I'll take the over on that.
The Jets.
Yeah, I would. I would take
I'll
the
take the
over.
over on that too.
I'll take the over on that.
Are the Patriots a 7.5 team?
Oh, too far.
Good guess. Good guess.
And I'll take one of the 9.5 teams on the AFC, the Bengals. Which is probably all the way because they have no defense, but still.
The Steelers will be the other 9.5.
Steelers
There's
are
a bunch
not
of
9.5.
Get the fuck out
Really?
of here.
They always keep getting up to 9.
They haven't got Aaron Rodgers yet, George.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, well, wait a minute. That means they're down at 7.5.
Steelers are not at 7.5. And since we've basically narrowed that down, let me just.
They're 5.5.
I was going to say, I would have cried if it was 5.5. That would have been hilarious.
Let me take one of the NFC 6.5 and say the Panthers.
Okay. Got Adams Panthers there. Yep. Hey, 6.5. That's an improvement.
Yeah.
Well,
Are the Vikings a 9.5 team?
The Vikings are not 9.5.
Are they an 8.5?
what?
8.5? Oh,
Are the Rams one of the 9.5?
no, the Packers would be.
Well, they could be in there too. There's like 3 of them.
No, the Packers will be there.
Oh, here you go, guys. Hurricanes win in overtime against the Caps 2-1.
So your NFC North, since we have them all now,
Right.
10.5 for the Lions, 9.5 for the Packers, and then 8.5 for each the Vikings and Bears.
Wow.
Are the Commanders another 9.5 team?
I forgot to go back to them.
Are the Falcons an 8.5 team?
The Falcons are
No,
not
that's
an
the
8.5 team.
That's the 6.5. That's the
That's-
6.
They're also
That's-
not a 6.5.
That's
No,
a 7.
it's 7. Okay.
All right. Is one
Are-
of the
Well, then the Saints must be the 6.5.
Saints should be 4.5? Who they should?
I'm shocked that
Are
they're
the
over.
Actually, no.
Hang on. Bruiser?
Go ahead, Bruce.
Never mind.
Okay.
I was going to guess the Panthers, and then I saw them. Never mind.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, is the 6.5 the Saints win total or the amount of quarterbacks that'll start a game for them this year?
Right, they're about to
Take
surpass
your
the
pick.
Browns.
I'm going to take a guess
right.
and say the Seahawks are the 8.5, and the Cardinals are the 7.5.
So close. So close.
Flipped.
Who the hell do they think the Cardinals are?
They are who we thought they were.
There you go.
The Raiders are the other 5.5.
The Raiders are not the other 5.5.
They're a 7.5.
They are in fact
Why?
7.5.
Why?
Is one of the other? I want to go
The
9.5.
Jaguars are the other 5.5.
The Jags are not
No.
5.5.
Are you serious?
Jags.
Is it
Jags
the
are probably at
Titans?
9.5. Wow. Are the Jags one of the 9.5?
Good God, no.
He's
Just
God,
thought I'd
no.
ask. So that means they're an 8.5.
No, I don't think we didn't say. Did we say 7.5 for Jags? I thought we said 5.5. 5.5 and then 9.5. So,
All right.
7.5 for the Jags.
Is one of the
Is
9 the
there-
Texans?
Yes, actually they are.
Because they play in like the worst division of football.
Right.
Yes, they do.
So that
Are
means the
the-
Colts are a 7.5.
That's weight. I'm betting the under on that.
Are the Chargers one of the 9.5s?
Okay.
Okay.
You've almost got this completely filled out. You
The
want me to at least-
Broncos are the 9. Broncos are the 9.5.
Ravens are the 9.5.
No, we already got the
No,
Ravens.
the Ravens are at 11.5.
Ravens are
They're the
half.
second one.
Oh, I didn't see that.
The
Sorry.
Broncos were the 9.5.
I'll just go ahead and
Yeah, I was gonna say just put the Fins in.
I'll bet
The
the under on
Fins
that.
at
too.
8.5. The
Yep.
Fins at
Get the hell
8.5. Okay.
Now-
the
Now
the
wait, is that how many
49ers
games Tua misses?
the 49ers is totally way out of hand.
yeah. I agree.
Honestly,
Way out of hand.
if you like, here's the thing: if you just flip the Niners and Commanders, I could buy it because if the Niners are healthy, they could easily win 9.5 games,
9.
possibly. But there's no way in hell they're winning more games than the Commanders this year.
I got a hard time putting them above the Vikings.
So just because I pulled up their opponents since we don't have the schedule yet. Obviously, divisional rivals, but beside the divisional rivals, you've got home Atlanta, Carolina, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Chicago.
Who's that?
That's San Francisco. Those are your home games.
Wow.
Here's your away schedule. Cleveland,
Yep, of course.
Houston, Indianapolis, New Orleans, the Giants, and the Buccaneers. My friend, you might be taking the over.
You may want to take
I'll
that.
tell you what. I think I might have to figure out how to get to that 49ers Browns game since it will be here. I will have to find my way to that game.
Who are you kidding? That game's going to be in like Germany.
No, don't even. No, sir. I will totally go to that game. I'll go to that game.
And
Wow.
just because
that is one. How did they get such a favorable schedule? Good God.
Because I don't know, where were they picking in this last draft? That would be how. Here, I mentioned the Lions' schedule has some issues. Home games, obviously NFC North. Home against Dallas, the Giants, the Browns, the Steelers, the Bucks. Here's the road games. Commanders, Eagles, Bengals, Ravens, Chiefs, and the Rams.
Oh,
Good God.
Oh,
Yes. We are being punished, and I don't know for what.
yeah. I was gonna say,
Like, I knew our schedule would be hell because, we're the reigning champs. I get that. I'm prepared for the toughest schedule in the league. But what the hell did the Lions ever do to anybody?
Speaking of which, let me go ahead and bring up your opponents.
Yeah, we got a pretty rough schedule, too.
wow, that is, and 10.5 with that schedule. Yikes.
Yeah, division. Okay, away at the Bills, home for Chicago, home for Denver, home for Detroit, at the Packers, at the Chiefs, home for the Raiders, at the Chargers, home for the Rams, at the Vikings, at the Bucks.
Mm.
Not making me us go to Tampa Bay. Make them play in cold weather, damn it. No, because every freaking time we play Tampa, it's there.
They did turn around and come up and play you in cold weather and whooped your butt and knocked you out of the playoffs. Remember? They
What
did
year
do that.
you in 1947? Stay over there.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't want to remember 2 seasons ago. Sorry about your luck.
That was in Tampa. Yes, it was.
No, that was in your backyard.
No, it wasn't. The 2023 playoffs, that was in Tampa Bay. We were a wild card team in 2023, the year after we went to the Super Bowl. The Bucks won their division. Yes, we did not win the NFC East in 2023.
That's right. The Bucks with that weak ass schedule.
No, the Bucks played a weak ass division.
What in the hell? Clint, you can't just drop something like that in the chat when we're
not
on
a good night to post that in the chat either.
I haven't clicked on it yet.
No.
I saw it, I'm like, I'm not reading this.
No, you don't. Nope, you don't want to.
I don't. I saw the headline. I don't need to see anything else. That's all I needed. Sometimes the headline's all you need. George, you should know that. You're old enough to remember newspapers.
George remembers when the Pharaoh printed it on papyrus.
I can't be mad at that one. That one's pretty good. That was
so good.
That's some historical dropping knowledge. That was good, Bruiser. I actually can't be mad at that. That was pretty good. That was pretty damn good.
So as far as the Bucks away, since we want them to play north, their away schedule is Rams, Seahawks, Dolphins, Bills, Lions, Texans, Falcons, Saints, Panthers. So Lions Lions is indoors. Bills is your question mark.
They get a bunch of indoor or warm weather. Spoiled bunch down there in Tampa. I guess because you had Brady on your team for a few years, you get the respect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise there was nothing that really jumped out.
You said good night 3.
I mean, I think Jets can get 6 wins fairly easily.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the Colts are making 7 though.
Well, I mean, that brings up the Anthony Richardson question. So,
right.
I mean, you're at the season now to where he either figures out a way to put it together or you are approaching bust territory rapidly.
Yeah, the only ones I just don't see right. Even with the 49ers have one hell of a schedule in the favor, but 10.
You have a great schedule.
It
You've
could
made
be like
improvements.
it could be right on 10.
And let's face it, you stay healthy.
Yeah,
That's 2 to 3 extra wins from what you had anyway.
right.
Yeah.
But the Jets one, yeah, I'd take the over on that. What's the Jets schedule?
Hang on. Jets opponents. Okay. Home Browns, Steelers, Falcons, Panthers, Broncos, Cowboys. I mean, other than the Broncos, that's rather favorable.
Mhm.
Away, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, obviously.
Mm.
Ravens, Bengals, Saints, Buccaneers, Jaguars.
Okay, Saints and Jets. Yeah, there's 7 right there. Yeah, I'd take the over. I see 7 right there, easy. Real easy. And hell, do you even turn around and say you even split one with the Finns?
Yeah,
split one with
the Finns or split with the Patriots.
Yeah, you can split with each of them, and you're sitting at 7 or 8. Yeah, yeah, I'm taking the over on that.
And
Sure.
of course, the Dolphins, you got to judge the Dolphins because, it's more the question of which week 2 will be knocked unconscious again. So,
And also, well, I mean, it depends if you get the Dolphins early in the season or at the end, because you get them early in the season, that's when they tend to smoke you. And then when you get them at the end,
They're hosed.
They just fall.
Yep. And we still don't know squat about what the Steelers are doing with Aaron Rodgers. I saw some bull crap on the stupid USA or Microsoft clickbait earlier, something around 120 million something. I'm just like, yeah, I ain't seen anything solid out of anybody yet.
Right.
I don't know if you guys did, but I did not.
no.
No, there's been nothing. I'm telling you, he is, whether he's dragging his feet for more money or whatever the hell's going on, I just, seriously, if I'm the Steelers, just throw a pick at Atlanta and just take Cousins just for a year.
I'd be better off.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad option. I mean, it's a much better option than waiting for Mr. Fruit Loop to come out of his dark place. Do you think
frankly, better quarterback at this point in his career?
For sure. For sure. And he can turn around and just walk. He can sit there and just retire. He's still getting a pay. He's still getting a paycheck from the Jets.
Yep.
What else does he need to play for? I mean, I'm sure that's got to be something that Pittsburgh and Atlanta have to be thinking. Or Atlanta's basically going to be thinking, you better make that pick a good one.
I think they're just waiting for a quarterback to get hurt.
Well,
I think that game.
I think that they're waiting on this game to fall out too. I 100% think they're waiting for this fallout. That's why they turned around and kept Cousins to begin with.
Yeah, and I understand if Pittsburgh's doing that. Well, why give up capital for a quarterback if we can just sign one? I understand that logic, but
but
Does
it's
Mike
Aaron
Tomlin really
stinking
want to
Rodgers.
deal with him
Right.
with all the crap that comes with him? I mean, don't get me wrong. Tomlin dealt with Antonio Brown. Tomlin dealt with Le'Veon Bell.
But he made that. He made that happen. He let that happen. And if he lets Rodgers in the locker room, good God. That organization, what was that number? 8.5? Was it 8.5
Yeah.
or 9.5?
Yeah. I was gonna say it's 8.5 now.
It's
Once
8.
they figure out their quarterback, that's when it
Yeah.
changes.
That subject to change. Subject to change big time. Sorry. Didn't need to turn around and have the sneezing on air.
So I mean, we did the fill in the blank, and it was a fairly quick fill in the blank. I'm not opposed if we want to do another one.
Set him up, Sammy.
Okay. I need a number between 1 and 4.
3.5.
Bruiser's got it.
Bruiser's got it.
I didn't.
3.
3? Okay. Oh, good. The fun one. All right, hang on. I need to get my cheat sheet first before we get into this.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm really heavily debating on if I want to go to the gym tonight or just get up at 5 and go then.
Oh, I don't want to think about 5 because my new wake up call is 5:45. Oh,
Okay, so previously, and I believe it was the very first ever fill in the blank that we did recently.
yeah.
We did one similar to this, which was most arrests in the past 10 years per team. Well, now we're taking it back to the year 2000.
Oh,
In
dear
the
God.
last 25 years. Now, I'm going to throw this out there just so everybody's aware. This was created about 5 weeks ago, so anybody arrested in the last month and a half isn't going to count on this.
The Raiders have
Well, the
to
Raiders got to be. Yeah, I was going to say the Raiders are numero uno.
Okay. The Raiders, they're not. They're really not.
What?
Are the Raiders in the top 5?
No.
Really?
Or the
What?
Or the
Wait a minute.
Cowboys.
Okay. The
Hang on,
Cowboys are not in the top 5. Now let's figure this out. So Cowboys, what I mean, how many arrests were there like around the Love Boat scandal? I don't even think there was that many arrests. There was just, what are you doing? The Raiders are the Raiders. They had their issues. Most of those are kind of encapsulated in a couple year span. So and the thing is, a lot of arrests aren't necessarily guys that you are huge names. I don't have lists of like the team with 57 of them. I don't have the list of names. I suppose I could probably pull it up, but I'm not going to because
yeah.
Are the Falcons in the top 5?
the Falcons are not in the top 5.
I'm going to take
anybody remember who was number 1 on the 10-year thing? I remember who it was. They're not top 1 on this one here. So we are going to just go ahead and go to this 41, and we're going to throw the Chiefs in there. Since they were number 1 on the 10-year.
Are the Ravens in the top 5?
They are not.
Are the 49ers in the top 5?
God, if only.
No, smart ass.
Oh, wait. Shit, this is not injured players. Damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is I'm going to go with the Patriots at 18.
They had 18 or number 18? No, Patriots, I'll say this, they were definitely in the bottom quarter. If you want me to actually fill these in, you just let me know. But
Well, since you said they are in that bottom quarters, go for it.
okay. They're ranked 25th, and they
Ooh,
also
it's a
had
little higher
25
than they're a little
arrests.
higher than I thought. But okay. Hmm.
I feel like the Eagles are like somewhere in like that same area.
Yeah, Eagles. They're pretty close here.
The Browns are one of the 30s.
Where are the Browns? Oh, there they are. The Brown. No. In fact, I'm not even going to type it in. They're not, in fact, in the 30s.
Huh.
Are they lower? Shit. Or are they higher? Shit.
Interesting.
Are they one of the
I don't know.
40s? Like the
Call
40 or
FanDuel.
41? Ah.
Oh my god.
Are the Steelers one of the teams in the 30s?
I was gonna say Roethlisberger alone probably has a few.
Oh, damn it. Well,
Are
hell,
the
you know what?
Ravens in the
Let
30s?
damn it, Bruiser. I was going to use them next too.
Sorry, you said
The Ravens, are they one of the teams in the 30s?
30 exactly.
Soon to be maybe 31.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, but he's released now, so now
This is
he's
true.
a FA. Now he's a FA.
oh wait, let me say this: 31 allegedly.
The 49ers, one of the 24s.
No, sir. I will say this: they are on the right hand side.
Okay. I was gonna say you don't really hear a whole lot about them. They in the bottom quarter of that?
No.
Ooh, okay then.
Is the other 41 the Lions?
No, the Lions are not at 41.
Okay.
I mean,
Are the Jaguars in the 30s?
Jags are not in the 30s. As far as the Lions being in the 40s, let me just say this. I mean, to have a lot of arrests, you have to believe that your team at some point was halfway decent, because otherwise, why would you put up with the players?
Well then,
That's not the case for every team up there, but in my head, that's the logic that kind of works.
Are the Packers the 41?
Packers are not the 41. Packers are in fact
Are
in the
they
back
one?
half.
No shit. Bunch of model citizens over there. Are the Jets at 41?
No. Again, Jets are. I can't believe I'm saying this. The Jets are rather boring on the arrest front.
So they must be about 18 or 19 then.
Not quite. Jets are. They're over here at 26.
Are the Bengals in the 30s?
Bengals are not in the 30s.
Are they one of the top 6?
I'm going to say this. Bengals are in top 5.
Oh damn.
Are they one? Okay. Are they number 3? Are they 56?
They are 51.
One.
If you will recall, it was a while ago now, but Bengals had some years where
They were, yeah. Ooh.
they had some issues going on.
Oh, I would have just guessed it off of Burfict and Pac-Man alone.
So the 49ers are 28 or 29 then.
Hmm.
Oh, they're one of the other 30s.
Are the
Damn
Dolphins
Terrell
one of
Owens.
the
That damn Terrell Owens, that punk son of a.
Are the Dolphins one of the top two?
Dolphins are not. They are in the left-hand column, but they're not one of the top two.
Are they the 41?
Nope. Less than that.
Damn it! I want to get that 41 so bad.
I
Are the
will
Bills?
give you a hint that is just gonna infuriate you. You've said the team. The other 41. The team has been mentioned.
17, the Panthers.
No. Panthers are on the right-hand side, but they are not the 17.
Are they one of the 24s?
Lower. So wait, sorry, higher. My bad.
28?
No. You're zeroing in
Oh,
on
okay.
it. So we'll just go ahead and
Are the Texans 17?
that's
Get
that's
the
a
hell out of here.
nice
No
call.
wonder they don't
Wow.
win. No wonder they
Wow.
don't win shit. Bunch of freaking do-gooders.
All I'm gonna
Jesus.
say,
Outside of Watson.
if you'll recall,
Shut
Deshaun
up, George.
Watson, they were all civil suits. That means
Allegedly.
no arrests.
Right.
Allegedly.
It's going to be the new freaking word of the show, allegedly.
Are the Commanders one of the 30s?
They may be one of the. They may be higher.
Actually, Commanders are on the right-hand side.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm going to say 29 for the Commanders.
Nope. It's actually lower. Not by much though.
Are the Bills on the left-hand side?
Bills are on the right-hand side.
All right.
Are the Jaguars one of the 30s?
They are not. Jaguars are on the left.
Are the Jaguars at 41?
No kidding.
Of
Are the Vikings on the left?
Vikings are on the left.
Are they one of the 30s?
Nope.
We're
Are
one of the
they
top
the-
two.
Are they 57?
Oh my God.
Yes!
Huh.
It's kind of boring up there in Minnesota.
Bears are 18.
Bears are on the left-hand side.
Oh, damn.
Are they 56?
No, they are not.
Damn.
What kind of division do you think we run?
This
I don't
is
know. Your coach wants to bite off kneecaps. What the hell do you think I'm going to think over here?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Damn it. Is 56 the Cardinals?
Tis not the Cardinals. Cardinals are on the right-hand side.
Oh, yeah, they're all playing Xbox. I forgot.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
allegedly
No,
he's
I'm
playing.
Pretty
the
sure that's
Xbox.
confirmed.
Guilty.
That's the last time I'm saying allegedly for the rest of the night. They got-
Here, Cal.
Are the Rams on the left-handed side?
The Rams are on the right.
Oh, my God.
25 years is a long time.
Yeah, it is. Phew. Man,
I feel like the Bucks are on the left-hand side.
The Bucks are indeed on the left-hand side.
Are they in the 30s?
Well, I mean, technically everything left on the left-hand side is in the 30s.
with the
Yeah, I can't
exception
blame-
of the 56.
Yeah, 56 don't count.
All right, so are they 38?
Wow.
Wow. He pulls that out of his rear.
I ain't saying allegedly for that. Fuck that. Are the Giants one of? I'm going to go with the Giants at 39.
All right. Giants are not at 39. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. They're on the right-hand side.
Are they at 28?
They're actually lower than 28. Yeah. I mean, how long was Tom Coughlin there? He wasn't putting up with nothing.
I was
Fair
saying
point.
the Giants, yeah.
I'll go ahead and
Okay, so they're worse than us. Great. I won.
by one guy.
$56. Saints.
Not the Saints. Saints are on the left.
Are they 39?
No.
35.
Nope.
What?
So close.
The Broncos?
Broncos, what?
56? No freaking way. I was like, the
shit.
Raiders and Broncos both had issues. The Raiders and Broncos are both having issues. Okay.
Are the Chargers on the left-hand side?
Chargers are on the right.
Yeah. Okay. Are they one of the 24s?
No, they're not. They're higher than that.
No, the Colts.
28.
The Colts got to be in those upper. The Colts got to be there because it's like the criminal thing kept happening after Peyton Manning. So the Colts got to be like 36 or 39.
I mean, damn impressive, sir.
It's the Peyton Manning thing. It just happened to follow him, you know. Okay. Well, that was fun. I think I might have just spent everything right there. Who
Is
the
this
hell else
30?
is in there?
39, the Cardinals?
39 is not the Cardinals. In fact, Cardinals are on the right-hand side.
Are the
Are they one
Cardinals?
of the 28?
Well, we said the Rams, but you said the Rams were on the right.
Rams are on the right. So, sorry, what? Some people said things. I missed it.
Are the Cardinals at 29?
Brother.
So the Seahawks are 39.
The Seahawks are not 39. They are on the left.
So, well, okay, well, 35 then. Well, that's the only other NFC West left because you said the Rams were over on the other side.
Correct.
Are the Rams one of the 24s?
Nope.
Are they 18?
19? 18? Really?
Oh, shit.
Okay. The Titans are 19?
Titans are not 19.
Are they 28?
No.
Wait,
Are they on the right or the
Titans are on the left.
really? One of the
34.
30s?
Holy shit.
39. Who the hell is getting arrested on the Titans? Wow.
No one has the Cowboys, right? We haven't said them yet.
You guys haven't even mentioned them yet.
God, they gotta
Are
be.
they one of the 28?
They are not.
No, they're
Are
on.
they
They're
on
on. Put them at 30.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll put them at
shit.
30.
Yeah, I was gonna say they ain't getting out of that left-hand column. We know damn well that they were gonna be on that left side. We just knew outright. You just still haven't found the Raiders, who we thought were. The Raiders are
Are
on
the
the
Raiders
left,
at
34 or 35.
Raiders are not on the left.
Wow.
Are they one of the 28?
I was gonna say we know that they are
Okay,
nowhere near
finally.
the bottom of that list. Good gravy. Who else are we missing?
I'm going to say this. You are missing 3/4 of a division.
Yeah.
Is 19 the Packers?
19 is not the Packers.
Are they one of the 24s?
They're not.
God, freaking.
Are
Good, get
the
those 28s away from me.
are the Bills 19?
Bills are not 19.
Sure as shit ain't the Dolphins. Who the hell? You said them, right? Oh, no, they're there. Okay. So what the hell? Is the Dolphins 35?
So close.
34?
Nope. There's 3 to go. 2 of them in the same division.
Bills are there. Jets, Patriots. Jets, Patriots, Bills. Fins.
Okay, I'm going to narrow it down slightly for you. They're all NFC teams.
Yeah, I'm looking at my board going, that's all the AFC right there. So all we got left is you got the Seahawks.
Do you
Yeah,
want me to
but-
give you the 3 teams and y'all got to figure out what's what?
So it's
I want to take a stab at 35. Is that the Falcons?
Is not the Falcons.
God damn it.
so the Falcons are 24.
Correct.
Yeah,
Of course they are.
they're not Angels.
Okay, alphabetically, you've got Chicago and Detroit. Who goes where?
Detroit's 35.
Is that the consensus?
Detroit's 19.
Okay, I don't know. I've got half of these wrong.
Detroit-
Leave me alone.
Detroit, I think, is the 19.
Yeah, you're probably right. Of course.
The
The Bears are interesting list.
That was
and I know it's been a while since, but the list is completely different from the 10-year one.
Yes, it is. Yes, it totally is. Man, 30 dudes. I'm trying to remember. I'm like, I know T.O. T.O. had his fun.
I I have the list for Minnesota.
Oh my God. Yeah, fire that baby up.
Wide receiver Chris Walsh, tight end John. This is from starting at 2000. Tight end John Davis, defensive end Kenny Mixon. 2002 wide receiver Randy Moss arrested for careless driving and marijuana possession. Defensive end Kenny Mixon again. That's his second DUI in 2 years. Tackle Bryant McKinney. Linebacker Mike Nateel. Defensive tackle Kevin Williams. Kenny Mixon again. EJ Henderson, Steve Farmer, Mike Nateel again, EJ Henderson again, Kelly Campbell, Kevin Williams, Bryant McKinney, Marcus Johnson, Mo Williams, Fred Smoot, Bryant McKinney again, Dante Culpepper, Corin Robertson. Yep. Arrested and charged with fleeing from police, along with 2 DWI charges and 3 other misdemeanors. Dwight Smith, Travis Taylor, Cedric Griffin, Roniel Whitaker, Dwight Smith, Darian Scott, Bryant McKinney, Cedric Griffin. That gets you through the 2000s into 2010.
My
Go
God.
to Minnesota.
Everson
Hey, when it's
Griffin,
cold and you're bored.
Everson Griffin twice. Okay, 2011. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 arrests in 2011.
Wow.
Everson Griffin twice. Chris Cook, Rhett Bomar, Tyrell Johnson, Chris Cook again, Benny Sapp. Caleb King, Jerome Felton, Adrian Peterson, Jerome Simpson,
I was just going
AJ
to say
Jefferson.
AP.
Yep. Aaron Henderson twice. AP again. Tom Johnson, Jerome Simpson, Jabari Price. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. George Edwards, Michael Floyd, Antoine Williams, Caleb Jones, Rock Thomas, J-Ron Curse, Davian Davis. And that gets you up to 2019.
Good grief.
And that's as far as this list goes. It's missing, I believe, 17 more.
Wow.
Now, in keeping with the theme of what you're reading off, Adrian Peterson was just arrested like a week ago for a DWI. Can we add that to make it 58?
I don't think he's with the team.
He's not even with the team.
Well, I was going to say you have to add it to about 4 other teams then.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's kind of crazy.
I was going to say, and wait a minute. Doesn't he have he gets to fill in a couple of teams on this list. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit right there. That is some major BS right there. It's like a couple teams taking hits for him.
Allegedly.
Oh, you said you weren't going to do it.
Well, I did.
Good grief.
Grief is a very good word for this.
All right, George.
Yeah.
Good night, Gracie.
That takes care of the 4 minutes. Say goodnight, Grayson.
Good night.
Good night. I said say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
So I said, well, flip a coin. And if it comes out heads, have your hair dyed.
And if it comes out tails, say goodnight, Grayson.